Flesh on my tongue, iron in my lungs, blood on the snow, name on their shields, night in my veins, storm in my ears, wolves trace our steps, God's count our kill. You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If I fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla. Frost on the oars, breathe like white smoke. Eyes on the shore, fire in the dark. Both on my tongue, salt on my cloak. If this is the end, let it leave a mark. You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If I fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla. If I do not see the morning, carry my name in your mouth. Raise up the horn, pour the glory, let my children hear the shout. Hey! You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Hey! Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If we fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla.
We're back. Hello, hello. We are back after almost a week gone, guys. We are back. We have a really good show planned tonight. It's going to be our regular Tuesday show. I know we talked about potentially moving things around. I'll explain how all that's going to work. We get a couple extra shows planned this week. All right. So how's everybody doing? Glad to be back. All right. We took a little bit extra time off for my birthday. Haven't really had any time off in the last 2 years. Pretty much have been putting out content almost every day for 2 years straight. And I figured it's time to take a couple days off to celebrate my 40th birthday party. So thank you guys all for waiting for me until I got back. All right. Now, a lot of you are already saying in the chat, look at the fear-mongering title, clickbait. No, it's not. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why that probably 5 to 10 years from now, we will probably look back at this moment as the defining moment that kicked off probably World War III in the best way that we look at it. I'll explain it all. It's because you have to understand with world wars, a lot of people think with world wars of all of a sudden one day we wake up and the entire world's at war. But that's not historically the way it happens. It happens over incremental periods of time. And what we just had happen over the last couple of days while I was gone is probably the most dangerous thing for the geopolitical, geo-conflict, world war, however you want to look at it, situation that we have had ever. All right. And what that means is the fact that you already have major wars kicked off all the way through the world right now. You have Ukraine, Russia. We all know that one. You have the United States, Iran, all of that going on. But we are finally doing is putting all of those wars together. And how are we doing that? Oh, that's because Ukraine has now just entered the war against Iran, right? And we're going to explain why all of this is so bad when it starts to interconnect, right? And don't worry, I got an entire section on it. So no, it's not fear-mongering. This is most likely worst case scenario for us to be moving into, all right? And it'll make sense when I actually explain it. Right? Comparatively to World War I, World War II, all of these conflicts did not start with 10, 20 countries at war. They started with one country, and it potentially fans out like a spider web, which is exactly what we are watching happening right now. Okay, my office is incredibly hot today. I don't know if the AC is not working since I've been gone. So if I'm sweating a little bit, I am sorry, but it's hot here, and the AC is not pumping, all right? So thank you for all the birthday wishes as well. How is everybody doing out there? How are we doing? How have we been doing over the last week? Where's everybody tuning in from? Let's start with that while everybody filters in here. Hold on real quick. I got to try to turn the AC on in here. It is insane. I have to get my HVAC fixed. It's also super hot outside. All right. So it might be a sweaty stream tonight, but that's the way it's going to be. Not as hot as those of you who are all in Texas and Houston and all those places, but very, very good. All right. Also, what else do we got to talk about? We're not just talking about that tonight. We have a regular Tuesday show. So a lot of different stuff up front. First subject is not going to be global conflict. We're going to start out with what I did the video on earlier today, the Sean Strickland, Sean Ryan, Candace Owens drama. We're going to do that first so we can give a little bit of time for the algorithm to maybe not beat us up too bad when we get into the section where it's going to be a lot of talking about Netanyahu, Zelensky, and Trump together. So we might need a lot of flags in the chat for the second part of the show, as you guys know. So be prepared for that, all right? Because a lot of people are not going to like, well, not you guys. Our friend Bibi, if you didn't know, is currently here in Washington, D.C. with Zelensky, with Trump. Yes, these things are happening in real time, as I was talking about earlier. So, yeah, a lot of sketchy stuff going on. We're going to talk about all of it, but we are going to start the show with a little bit of influencer drama to help ourselves out. Thank you for all the support with the flags in the chat. And then we got a lot on the economy. There's a lot of terrible indicators for the economy. So, hey, if you were hoping for an uplifting, upbeat stream tonight, well, I'll try to have as much comedy as I can, but things aren't ranking great for America or the world. And we're talking about old Trumpster and our normal, influencers, Democrats, Republicans, all of it. All right. So, all right, we did it. We got quite a few people in here already. Let's kick this thing off. Let's talk about it. Okay, so big one that happened recently in the influencer world. Sean Strickland goes on Sean Ryan's podcast, and that has created some waves, okay? For a lot of different reasons. They really pissed off MAGA for trashing on Trump. That's nothing new. But also, Sean Strickland went pretty heavily after Candace Owens, which I didn't think was that big of a deal during the actual episode. But following that, over the last day or so, Sean seems to have tripled. Sean Strickland seems to have tripled down on. He apparently believes the Fed slop narrative completely now, out of nowhere, and it's weird. Everything's weird. All right, so we're going to touch on that first, then we'll jump into our main coverage of the conflict that's going on. One thing I always forget to say, guys, if you're interested in our new Clips channel where we do short form content from different stuff, if you can't catch everything from live streams, I have it pinned in the pinned comment. So shout out to myself on that. Someone said, can you shut off ads? No. Get YouTube Premium. Then you won't have ads. Okay. That's on your end. So sign up for YouTube Premium and you won't have an ads anymore. Just like the rest of us. Okay. So that's the way it goes. Okay. Now let's jump into it. Let's talk about it. First thing we're going to talk about, yes, the influencer drama between Sean Strickland, Sean Ryan, and Candace Owens, it turns out. Let me find this clip. Hold on. Here we go. So this is the clip that is making the internet go absolutely wild right now. And let's take a watch together and see what we think. Let's pull this all the way up. Here we go.
Because you have people like Candace Owens, and I know she's your friend, but like Candace Owens doesn't do anybody a service. She says all this crazy shit like Charlie Kirk's a time traveler, like blah, 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 blah. And every now and then she'll sprinkle in truth to what she says. But really all she does is like belittle the movement and water the movement down of what it is. Conspiracies patterns don't always equal conspiracies. There can be a pattern, but just because there's a pattern doesn't mean there's like some there's just because there's a pattern doesn't mean there's some like puppeteer pulling the strings. Because you
My mic's muted, huh? My bad. Let me reset. We're a little rusty. It's been a week. Okay. Let me back up. All right. So what I was just saying, we're good now. We're back. Okay. So what I was just saying is, this is a little bit bizarre to me because Sean Strickland has been over the last couple months one of the, people that's really pushing our greatest ally is responsible for everything. They're the ultimate bad guy, right? But then all of a sudden, when it comes to Charlie Kirk, much like Nick Fuentes and a few others, then all of a sudden, it's a giant conspiracy to include our greatest allies potentially in being involved. Even though that, no, we should be good. Just refresh if you've got any audio issues. We should be good, right? Everybody keeps saying muted. I'm not muted. Really? All right, you better refresh your channels. Everybody, whoever's all right, let's make sure. Because on my end, I'm good now. 5x5. All right, we're good. All right, just so you know, if you guys can hear me, and yeah, it's because they're behind. Got it. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, it's very odd to me that when it comes to the Charlie Kirk assassination, some people that sort of push the narrative that our greatest ally is behind everything, all of a sudden then they're like, well, no. Not here, not this one. This one, you have to believe the official narrative no matter what. And anybody who believes anything else is a fucking idiot, which is essentially what Sean later then said yesterday, which let me find this. Because what Sean talked about, what he said on the Sean Ryan's podcast, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But since then, he's really like quadrupled down, and it's getting a little bit bizarre to me. Okay, so it's one thing to criticize Candace or me or Baron or Ian or whoever you want. That's fine, but it's another thing to like triple down. And then this is what he put out. What was this? Yesterday. Let's look at this. So now Sean is saying, and he's being hyperbolic. He's being sarcastic. He's basically calling me and all of us in here fucking idiots because we may disagree with this. All right. So what he says is, so our greatest ally brainwashed or convinced Tyler to shoot Charlie or take the blame. They paid off the parents or didn't and stole the gun, planted the DNA. They didn't trust the shooter, so they put a bomb in the mic, then paid off the many others, something like that. So what he's saying is, this is supposedly what we believe, right? All of us who don't believe the official narrative. And he's basically saying we're all fucking idiots for believing this. Now, and then if you scroll down here, somebody says, regardless of the theories, a 30-06 round would have caused more damage to Charlie's neck. That is an undisputed fact. Okay. Sean says this yesterday. This is all important. And he says, I don't know, man. I went hog hunting and every round did something different. I have no faith in what bullets do when they hit bodies. Now, that's interesting because there's some people that have felt that way the entire time, but is that what Sean Strickland has felt like the entire time? Well, no, it hasn't, because I did a little digging and I found this. This is from July 2nd. This is what, 2.5 weeks ago, where Sean Strickland said, I got to be honest. The Charlie Kirk bullet really does make you question things. A 30-06 at 140 yards would fly straight through a human body, regardless of how many bones it hit. And then he also said, right, and this is what, 22 days later? We went, now all of a sudden, the 30-06 makes 100% sense. So what happened in those 22 days? Those two tweets directly conflict with each other, right? His own tweets. So what happened here? I'm not trying to be too judgmental because I do like Sean Strickland. He's one of my favorite fighters, but I'm still a little bit like probably a lot of you are scratching our heads going, this is a little bit weird because you yourself didn't believe this narrative at all 2.5 weeks ago. And now we're all fucking idiots because we don't believe it. I don't know. It's a little bit odd. The time is a little bit odd. Let's and again, like everybody is saying, did he get the call? Is Sean a Fed? I don't think so. It's just, I don't understand the hardcore pivots, right? If you were to believe this from the very beginning, and this has been your stance, that's one thing. But it's another thing when you are totally against the Fed slop narrative for the entire time up to 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden you're on the complete opposite side, the full 180. And we know a few people that have done this. And the question is, just for me, is like, what made you change your mind? What made you change your mind? I don't know. So we'll just do, and again, I have nothing against Sean Strickland at all. He's a great fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. I'm a little bit confused at where this has all come from, which I think probably a lot of us are. All right. So let's do a quick poll here when we move on. All right. Because there's millions of these comments, right? That he got the call. So let's see what we think. Let's see what we think together. Okay. And then we are going to, again, this is just a little short takeaway. If you want to watch my whole video on this one, and it's up, we can watch it afterwards. But again, just wanted to, talk about it a little bit, get your guys' take, because it is a little bit weird to me. All right. Next, we are going to jump into, the unfortunate geopolitics, which is not looking good. All right. We're going to try to keep up on super chats. It might be a little bit longer show tonight because there's a lot to talk about. All right. So I'm going to try to do these a little bit more frequently as we go. We'll hit a couple of these and we'll jump back in. Sure Shot says, don't forget to like and subscribe. F Shadowbands. Thank you so much. We'll talk about that as well a little bit later. Grants Pass says hello. All right. Spent quite a bit of time down at Grants Pass, Medford as well. Happy birthday, brother. Thank you, Graham Bear. I appreciate it, brother. Happy birthday. Some say 40 will sound young. Yeah, it doesn't feel young to me right now. Thank you. Northeast Tennessee checking in. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, Big J. Appreciate you, brother. Mark says, I think people are being bought out. Look at Rogan and how he shifted. Now Strickland slightly. I think we need to stop going through all these distractions, start focusing on the rich in this country. I'm with you on that. Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate it. All right, a couple more. Happy birthday. Wish you known y'all were in Vegas. I was there all last week. Left Sunday. I was at the Bellagio. Would have loved to meet y'all. Yeah, sorry we didn't let everybody know, but we had fun. Thank you. Remember when I said things will get worse before they get worse? At the same time, these effing flock cameras going up everywhere. I'm working on a whole episode on that. Its own dedicated episode. It's a really hard one because I feel like YouTube is hardcore shadow banning that topic, which I wonder why. But I am working on an episode for that. I believe they'll start going after people like Candace Owens and eventually people like you. They already are. So there's that. Never sell out, brother. This country needs people like you. All right, one more, and we'll jump back in. Didn't Trump stop 8 wars? Started 8 wars. Noble piece of shit, Price. Thank you. Well, I don't know. He's definitely, I don't know. He's started and stopped the Iran war like 48 times. So that's got to be a record. All right, let's jump into it. Let's talk about the actual subject of the video today. And yes, let's just take a look at what's going on in our own country, in Washington, D.C. This is happening right now. Right now. So Uncle Bibi arrives at the White House. Yes, for the, what is this? And some of the comments, the president has returned for the, what, 8th time? Here he comes. What is this, the 7th time, 8th time since Trump became president? So, yeah. Now, he's obviously, everybody is here in town, I guess, what they're telling us, for Lady G's funeral, right? That's what everybody is here for. But it's starting to look like maybe that's not what they're all here for. And here's the White House today. As you can see, look at the way this works. The head of the table, huh? Who's president? I'm not really sure. You would think that Bibi would have been in one of the side seats like every other foreign leader, but no. He's sitting at the head of the table, equal to the United States president. Wow. No way, guys. No way. Now, who else is here? Ah, that's right. Zelensky and Bibi together are here, and this is a big deal, and it's going to make sense as we work our way through this episode. But as you see here, yes, Uncle Bibi and Zelensky both attend the funeral for Lady G. Yes, you can only imagine all the people that are attending this funeral from around the world are all the worst people on the entire planet, and that's why they're all here together. Now, here also is just some, hold on one second. Let me get this here. Just some clips of Lady G's funeral. And look at that. It's Zelensky and Bibi and U.S. officials. Just, we'll turn the music off. We don't know what they're saying, but yeah, huh? They got a lot to talk about. Wonder what they're all here together for. Well, we're getting to get that. We're going to get to that, but first, I just want to show you also the boss. This is Rubio and Hegseth, and look at them being lectured and given orders to, is really what it looks like to me. Their boss, Bibi here, telling them what they'll be doing. So let's take a look at this. Wonder why the United States Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of State are receiving orders from a foreign nation's president. Okay. Again, pretty weird. Now, this is where we get into the start of World War III, which I do believe we're actually looking at right now. And again, this is one of those things we look back 5 years from now and we go, oh, yeah, this was kind of the moment. And this is everywhere, right? You see here, Ukraine has officially entered the war with Iran. Ukraine attacked its ships and is planning to target main cities. Yes, Ukraine now, apparently, has decided, even though they can't win a war in their own country against Russia, they're going to enter the war against Iran. Seems a little bit bizarre at first. It's going to make a lot more sense, right? And here's Zelensky talking about this week, as he says, Iran will be no different from Russia if the regime chooses the path of war against Kiev, says Zelensky. And here we go. Let's get a little demographic or a little graphic here about what happened here yesterday. And that is, yes, Ukraine deciding to bomb.
Drone strike has just.
Let me reset here. Deciding to bomb Iranian ships out of nowhere.
Ukrainian drone strike has just hit an Iranian-linked vessel. A Ukrainian drone strike has just hit an Iranian-linked vessel in the Caspian Sea, leaving 1 dead and triggering accusations from Tehran. But this wasn't random. Kyiv claims the ship was part of a covert route moving drone components from Iran to Russia through a tightly controlled corridor linking Anzali and Amir Astrakhan. With the Caspian effectively sealed off by geography and treaties blocking foreign military access, drones were Ukraine's only way to reach it. Ukraine is now disrupting a reported Russia-Iran supply chain that fuels both battlefields. Under their growing partnership.
Now, this is where I want to start talking about what a world war is, right? How many countries now are we potentially going to have involved in what at first was segregated conflicts, segregated wars, Russia versus Ukraine. Then you have Israel, United States versus Iran. The potential conflicts growing between India, Pakistan, right? All of these segregated conflicts between integrated spiderwebbed allies, right? Russia, Iran, potentially China. You have, in Pakistan, you have on the other side, the United States, Israel, Ukraine, NATO, right? All of these segregated conflicts that all of a sudden are starting to intertwine together, which is exactly what a world war is. Do you understand, guys? With Ukraine and Russia at war, United States, Israel, and Iran at war, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, India, all almost embroiled in conflict, with Ukraine now attacking Iran and all of that intermingling, we're in a world war. Welcome. We are currently in a world war right now, today. This is not fear-mongering. This is not, oh my God, what's happening? We are currently in a world war. We are literally sitting at the very start of a world war. When you have 7, 8, 9 countries all intertwining into a war with each other, that's what a world war is. That's how these things start. If we think about World War II, was all of a sudden 20 different countries at war with each other? No. You had Hitler, Blitzkrieg Poland. That was the start. Started to spread out, right? Starts attacking France. Russia wants to get involved. The United States gets involved. UK gets involved. All the countries start to get involved due to alliances to support each other. That's exactly what is happening right now. With Ukraine deciding, excuse me, that they are now involved in this same war against Iran, which then pulls Russia into the fray, which pulls the United States potentially into a war with Russia. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But as you see here, Iranian IRGC preparing to strike dozens of Ukrainian U.S.-linked vessels in the Black Sea, Mediterranean Sea, after Ukrainian strikes on Iranian vessels. IRGC says Ukrainian attacks on Iranian vessels will not go unanswered. 8,000 Ukrainian ships may face huge retaliatory strikes from Iran. Do you see how this all is working together now? Again, all these countries are starting to get brought in to the conflict. All right. You have this. Zelensky is also bragging about this now. Zelensky parades long-range drones capable and ready to strike Iran. Read this again. This is all today, right? This is all, or as of yesterday. Zelensky parades long-range drones capable, ready to strike Iran at any time from an intelligence report. We also have this. Okay. Excuse me. Reporter saying that Zelensky says that Russia is giving Iran satellite imagery of U.S. bases in the Gulf to help them target. What can you do about that? Trump says, I'll ask Putin about that. I don't think they've been doing it, certainly not at a high level. And if they have, it's been very impactful. But what is this? Zelensky is trying to do what? What is Zelensky trying to do here? Are we all understanding what Ukraine and Zelensky are trying to do by attacking Iran while the United States is at war with Iran? Who gets it? Who gets what the big play by Ukraine is here right now? What's the big play? What's the big play here by Ukraine for them attacking Iran? What do they want more than anything? It's very obvious, right? Ukraine knows that the United States and Israel are at war with Iran. So if Ukraine starts attacking Iran, who is allied with Russia, while Russia is attacking and at war with Ukraine, what does that do to the United States? It pulls the United States into the war because we're all allied. We're all in this together. Ukraine's supporting us against Iran, which means the United States has to do what? The United States has to enter the war against Russia. That is the big play here. We're all seeing it, right? We're seeing it happen in real time. This is the big moment yesterday for Ukraine deciding to bomb Iranian ships and try to pull the United States into the war against Russia, because Russia is allied with Ukraine. Ukraine is allied with the United States. United States is fighting Iran. That's the big intermingle. This is the spider web. It's happening in real time, guys. And so when I tell you that, hey, the World War III just started, it's very likely that this is that literally yesterday is, if we look back on this in 10, 20 years, that could be the moment that triggered this. So, and how do we, and what Katie just said here, it's exactly what it is. It's a giant, now, and also think about this, guys. This also does what? How much more complicated does this make it for the United States and Iran to try to come to a peace deal? Well, now it's not. Think about how hard it was for the United States and Iran to come to a peace deal with Israel fucking it up nonstop. Okay, well, now all of a sudden you're adding in Ukraine, you're adding in Russia to the mix, you're potentially adding in India, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia. Oh, you add all these countries into the mix, and it becomes almost impossible for us to decouple from this, right? We couldn't even do it with the MOU, but now we're going to add 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 countries to the mix of the war. That's what a world war is, folks. And it takes a long time. It slowly increments, right? It starts with 2 countries. Then it's 3, then it's 4, then it's 10, then it's 15, then it's 20. All right. So again, I'm not kidding. And let me show you, right? It's not just here. This is happening all over the area. So now Pakistan is threatening Iran, that if Iran attacks Saudi Arabia again, that Pakistan is going to enter the war, right? So this is my point. This is how this stuff works. This is how these alliances work. And it gets even scarier, because now, this was also just announced, that because of Ukraine attacking Iran, because of Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, well, now China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and other BRICS allies are planning to form their own version of a military alliance as a NATO, a defense alliance. What does this mean? Okay, if they all sign on this, and Iran's being attacked, Russia's being attacked, that means they're all involved. China is now in the war. North Korea is now in the war. Other countries, Vietnam, whoever else is going to be part of this, all enter the war. Somebody said Saudis just attacked Iraq. Where was that? That was a great comment. That's also true. Yes, Saudis were just attacking Iraq. Iraq is also starting to get involved in this. You understand this is already a world war, right? Are we starting to understand this now? Like, we are already in World War III. I don't think people understand, like, at the start of World War II, nobody understood that you were in a world war. It was 10 years later that you look back on it and said, oh, this is the world war. We're already in a world war. We have 10 different countries all at war, intermingled together. It is literally here. So for those of you who said you're fear-mongering, I'm not fear-mongering. We are currently in it, ladies and gentlemen. We're just not going to realize the big effects of it until 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 7 years from now. But how do we get out of it, right? Well, I don't know. You got to end it all now. Now, especially with, Ukraine starting to bomb Iran, Russia potentially involved with Iran, China potentially gets involved. It's an absolute, like Katie said earlier, it's a cluster F. And so now, like I said earlier, now the United States, we can't get out. We're in it, ladies and gentlemen. Unless we just, somebody said I'm truth mongering. That's a funny one. But how do we get out now? We can't just pull out because everything's getting now, and we don't even have NATO involved yet, guys. And NATO is chomping at the bits to start a war with Russia, with Ukraine, and now they're going to have every excuse in the world to jump into that. And I saw somebody earlier said, all to not release the Big E files. And you got this right here. while everybody's distracted and all of Eurasia is at war, what do you think is going to happen here? China's going to take the Indo-Pacific. Of course they are. It's wild, guys. It's wild. It's not great. Not great. Right? Wish I had better news for you. But this, again, the fact that Ukraine is now bombing Iran while Ukraine is still embroiled in a massive war with Russia, and Russia is allied with Iran. No, it's not good, guys. It's not good. It's not good. All right. Okay. Now, here's also a little caveat. Okay, like I said, we got a busy schedule this week. A lot to talk about on the show. So today, regular scheduled show. Tomorrow, we will be back live at 5 p.m. Pacific again with investigative journalist Elizabeth Lane, who just wrapped up a big story with Tucker Carlson yesterday. It's going to be dropping the next couple days. All right. So Elizabeth's going to come on our stream tomorrow. We're going to stream together, and she's doing a deep dive, big investigative journalist story on all of this that I just talked about. Ukraine being intertwined, a bunch of United States military influencers taking huge paychecks to shill for Israel and Ukraine, all kinds of cool stuff that she did a huge story with Tucker on. I've been helping her with that story. So she's going to be on the channel tomorrow. Should be an awesome episode. So if you guys are into all the stuff we just talked about, that's going to be the show to see. Okay. And then it'll be like a preview of the big show that her and Tucker are doing together here in the next couple of days after that. All right. They already filmed it, but we'll see when Tucker puts it out sometimes this week. All right. So tomorrow's going to be a very, very good one. I've been working with Elizabeth to help her with this story for a couple of weeks. And you guys are going to be blown away by some of the stuff that she's uncovered. All right. So that's Wednesday. Then Friday, all right, we'll be back with the War Room-esque again. All right. So Aaron Love, Ben Pappas, Jake, we're going to get back together. We're going to deep dive all this stuff as well. All right. So that's the schedule for this week. So everybody knows. Right. So I know I had said that it might be a little bit reversed, but regular schedule tomorrow, big show with Elizabeth, and we'll do it from there. Cool. Got it. All right. So we're going to cut it there for all of this, because again, tomorrow's entire show is going to be dedicated to this topic right here. So it should be very, 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 very interesting. All right. We still have a lot of show to get through tonight. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the economy because, oh my gosh. If you thought the economy was bad based off of the limited war that we've had with Iran over the last 4 months and the Strait of Hormuz being closed, well, it ain't going to get better, ladies and gentlemen, based off of all the things we just talked about. All right. So, yeah. All right. Let's hit some super chats, though, before we jump into the economy next. Thank you guys so much. All right. Cody says, happy birthday. Thanks for being honest and blunt. I'm tuning in from Florida Keys. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Tuesday with Uncle Nate. I'm an unk now. I'm officially old as shit. I can't even pretend to be young. Thank you. Adam, what's up, brother? Says, have you had a chance to see my latest police encounter at my house? No, I haven't seen the new one. Also, my alt-X account got mass reported by you-know-who in Permdan. My main I'll have back in 23 days. Also, happy birthday. Hey, send it to me on Patreon or on Instagram, brother, and I'll take a look. I haven't seen the most recent one, but they're back. But we'll show it on the show, man, if you got clips of it for sure. InFocus says the soft topic of today's live, but Candace just blew the lid on the 4K vid from the pre. Oh, guys, I literally just saw this. Everybody, I was just talking to Baron and everybody about this right before I clicked live. It says, bro does an actual lateral crawl, has some weird unfolding weapon. Maybe could use your eyes. Also weird flash. Yeah, it's definitely not a 30-06. I briefly got to see it. Yeah, there ain't no 30-06 in this video, which is pretty fucking weird. But yeah, so we're going to talk about that. That all just broke right before. So I don't have it for this show. Okay. So I'll probably cover it for a regular video tomorrow, because literally Baron was telling me about it like right before I went live. Okay. So yeah, I got like one look at the video before I clicked live, guys. So yeah, I'm on it again. Just saw it right before I went live. So we'll get to it. Stop moving to Texas. Leeching plebs. I'm not. I wanted to move to Texas from Oregon, but we decided not to. Texas is nice, man. Thank you, brother. Dana White in the other oligarchies in this country are threatening people's families and influencers, making them people deal with them, use for gain. So that kind of makes me, when it comes to the Sean Strickland stuff, I kind of wonder, given how much, he was obviously kicked out of the White House event. Donald Trump and Dana White are like best friends. I'm like, I wonder how much pressure or threatening he's getting from Dana White and the UFC to like, hey, fall in fucking line and say what you're supposed to say, or we're going to end your fucking career. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but part of me was like, I wonder if there's any of that going on right now, but who knows? Jan says, happy birthday. We don't have munitions and we won't overnight get Russia involved and China. We're effed. I'm in Tennessee and the heat index was 112 today. It makes the devil with the AC house won't cool you down. Love you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. Again. Yeah. And this is what the big pull is. This is the big play, right? If you can get Russia and China involved, it becomes World War III, right? United States, NATO versus China, Russia and their allies. That's it. That's the big boy. That's the one everybody's worried about. And we are dangerously, dangerously close to that right now. So thank you, Jan. Appreciate you. We can't give beggar, you know what we don't have. That's true. We're actually pretty much out of munitions. So that's not great. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So Laura, this is also, I should talk about this, right? Laura Loomer, again, I don't want to give away so much of tomorrow's show. Okay. Because I promise we're going to talk about all this stuff, deep detail of all this stuff tomorrow. Okay. So part of me like really wants to talk about all this stuff right now, but I don't want to give away all the cool information we have on tomorrow's show. So anyway, Laura Loomer changes her mind on Ukraine and goes to Ukraine. Now, Bibi, Zelensky, and Trump are meeting. Something's brewing. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting how all of the worst people that you know, Lindsey Graham, Benny Johnson, Laura Loomer, all of MAGA, all of a sudden just flipped, right? They went from anti-Ukraine to pro-Ukraine just immediately out of nowhere when Bibi shows up and tells them to. Yeah, right. And this is what I always say, again, not to give away too much of tomorrow's show, but if you ever, for those, I know a lot of people really support Ukraine. Okay, I get it. It's your choice. But you have to remind yourself, if you ever find yourself supporting the same thing Laura Loomer is supporting, you should probably pause, take a step back for a moment and go, what is going on here? Why do I agree with Laura Loomer on some type of foreign policy? Right? If you ever find yourself agreeing with Laura Loomer on anything foreign policy related, take a step back. And Lindsey Graham and Benny Johnson and Donald Trump, if you ever find yourself agreeing with all of them, take a step back, pause, and go, maybe I need to look into this a little bit more, right? But anyway, we'll get to all that. All right, two more. Let's jump back in. Let's say our greatest ally has nothing to do with CK. Still doesn't take away the slop doesn't add up. 100%. 100% true. 100% true. Whenever I see a big pivot like Sean took, I think they got the call, especially when they're contradicting their own common sense. The big pivots are weird, right? The big pivots are weird. I've got buddies, Brent Tucker, one of my good friends. Me and him did content on this the month that this happened. And he's one of the leading experts in the field when it comes to precision long gun shooting. He believes it's possible. But he hasn't pivoted. He hasn't changed. He's believed that. Now, he's also said that's insanely unlikely, right? Because he's common sense behind it. That's different than somebody who has spent 9 months talking about how the Fed slop narrative, there's a 0% chance, and then all of a sudden, bam, out of nowhere, they're just on the other side. That, to me, I don't know. The pivots like that, guys, it's like for me, I might not be right. But my theory has been the same since day 2 of what happened to Charlie. I have not changed. I have not pivoted. I have not budged. Whether you agree with me, you don't agree with me, my take has stayed the same the entire way. That's usually normal, right? You don't have to agree with everybody. You might disagree with me, but you can't say Nate's all over the place or Nate's pivoted because I haven't. But the people that do the hardcore 180 pivot out of nowhere, it's always weird. That's weird. All right, let's jump back into it, guys. We got to get to the economy. Oh, lots to talk about here. Are we ready? All right, let's start with this. We always get Trump's take on the economy first. So Trump said this earlier in the week. He said 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. America's respected like never before. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works, but maybe it's because Donald Trump looks at things like this. So Donald Trump said this, and I quote, "I'm going to reduce affordability to the lowest it's ever been." Now, I know if your brain went, wait, what the fuck did he just say? Did he just say what I think he did? Yes. Yes, he did. He said, I'm going to reduce affordability, like when things are affordable, to the lowest level it's ever been. Essentially, what he's saying is, I'm going to make things the least affordable they have ever been in America. So at least he finally said something true. He was finally truthful about something, right? So there you go. All right, let's see what Fox News has to say. How does the rest of the country feel about the economy? So Fox News did a poll earlier in the week, and they said condition of the economy. And keep in mind, this is MAGA. These are Fox News boomers who are weighing in on this. Based off a Fox News poll, only 24% of Fox News viewers think the economy is good. 76% of Fox News viewers, Trump's base thinks the economy is fair to poor. So that's definitely going to bring us into our next poll. And if Fox News boomers think the economy is bad, and they're the one demographic who probably could maybe think the economy is pretty decent, then it's going to be interesting to see how we feel about it. And of course, there we go. I got to pull this up here. All right, let's see what the last poll did. Did Strickland get the call? 82% of you said yes. Well, I hope not. I hope it's something else, but we'll find out. All right. Let's see. How is the economy? Let's do the exact same poll they just did. How is the economy? All right. This is the same Fox News poll. Great, good, fair, and we'll say terrible. All right, so that's the Fox News poll, and that's Fox News boomers. We'll see what we think. We'll see what we think here on the show. All right, another one. Donald Trump has been bragging about how low inflation is. Okay, that's interesting. Well, let's take a look at this. Oh, it turns out currently, as of 1 day ago, the United States has the highest inflation rate amongst all G7 nations. So yes, US, Italy, Canada, UK, Germany, France, and Japan. We are higher than literally everyone. So that doesn't seem great. It doesn't seem great that the United States has basically the highest inflation of all the G7 nations. Some other great things that have happened this week. Yes, the U.S. debt officially has surpassed 100% of GDP for the first time since World War II. Perfect timing for World War III, huh, ladies and gentlemen? So what this means, let's think about it from our own day-to-day perspectives, okay? So the national debt is now higher than GDP. What that means, if we put it in layman's terms to ourselves, is let's say for us personally, let's say we made $100,000 a year in income. Well, guess what? We have over $100,000 in credit card debt. So what that means is you have more debt than you are making in an entire fiscal year. So wow. That's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible for the United States and our economy. But don't worry, it gets better. It gets better. We're breaking records left and right this week, ladies and gentlemen. Just in, the U.S. national debt has officially reached an all-time high of $39.5 trillion. Yes, breaking records left and right. And let's see who's responsible for that. Let's check it out. Donald Trump, in just 18 months, has added $5 trillion, as you see here, effing dollars to the national debt. As it says here, we don't have health care. We don't have education. We don't have food assistance. We don't have food safety. We don't have clean air. We don't have clear water. But we have added $5 trillion to the debt somehow. Guys, what the fuck did we just spend $5 trillion on in Trump's presidency? What can we objectively look at and be like, oh, that's where that $5 trillion went? $5 trillion. What What did we get out of that $5 trillion in 18 months? Anybody feel it? Was it better roads? Was it bridges? Was it universal health care? Was it universal education? Was it lower drug prices? Was it Medicaid? What did we get? Feels like we didn't get fucking anything. Feels like we got literally fucking nothing, but somehow added $5 trillion to the national debt. I'm not sure where $5 trillion went. Losing a war, that's a good one. Surveillance state, okay. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Diapers, potentially. There's a lot of those being used in the White House. He's not wrong, right? Isn't that crazy, though? You start to think about that, and you just go, $5 trillion added to the debt and fucking nothing to show for it? Wonder where all that money's going. It's going somewhere. It's not going to us. So, yes, again, like I said, a lot in the economy, a lot of records being broken this week. Here we go. Here's another one. To add to Donald Trump's amazing performance with the economy, the U.S. dollar has now lost nearly a third of its purchasing power just over the last 6 years. It's also lost 97% of its purchasing power since 1913. So as you see here, in 1913, if you had $10,000 saved and you just left it there, in today, that would be worth $290. So that's great. Also looking good. The question is, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Whose fault is this? It's got to be somebody's fault. Well, I think we actually know whose fault it is. Let's take a look. And I think this is it. Let's listen to what Carolyn Levitt, economy expert, has to say. Oh, yes, here we go.
Out at the podium.
Well, speaking of the midterms, we know the tradition. The party that has the White House typically has an uphill battle for the midterms. And when you look at the top issue among voters right now, it seems to be the cost of living. So what steps have been taken by the White House to really address that? Because that's going to be important as we head towards November.
Yeah. Well, the president and the White House, we fully recognize that. And I would remind your viewers and the American people of who caused the affordability crisis in this country. It was Joe Biden and it was the Democrats in this city when they were in power. And President Trump took immediate action on day one to fix that with his overall economic formula of tax cuts, deregulation, and energy dominance.
Look, here's the deal. Trump's been in power for almost 2 years. 2 years. Really? Really? Two years later? And we're going to blame Democrats? Look, you guys know I'm an independent. Okay? Call it like I see it. Republicans have had complete systemic control of the United States government, the House, the Senate, the executive, the judicial, the Supreme Court for 2 fucking years. The economy is far worse than it was under Biden. Inflation is objectively higher. It was 2.7% when Joe Biden left office. It is now 3.5% and rising. Gas prices are about $1 more than a gallon than they were when Joe Biden left office. What are we talking about? Yeah, we can blame Joe Biden if we want. Sure, it's fun to do. It's politically, it's easy button. 1.5 years. There you go. 1.5, 2 years. Nothing is better than it was in the economy, objectively, statistically, through data, than it was at the end of Joe Biden's presidency. Not to say Joe Biden didn't fuck up a lot of the economy. Okay? COVID wasn't great. Supply chain crises, all that happened, but we're way past that now. So for me personally, I don't need that excuse doesn't work for me. You can't have complete systemic control of the government and blame the other side. That's not how accountability works. And I mean that both ways. I mean that when Democrats have had complete systemic control of the government and try to blame Republicans. No, fuck no. That's not how it works. You're in charge. You have all the power. Why is the economy dog shit? I don't know. Maybe because you started a war with fucking Iran that shut down 30% of the global's oil supply. Maybe that had something to do with it. And that's not ending. And now it looks like The Strait of Mandab is also going to be shut down because the Houthis are now involved. We're going to cut off another 10% of the global world's oil supply. Come on. Come on, guys. Let's just be honest with ourselves. All right. I didn't blame Republicans when Biden was in office. We shouldn't be blaming Democrats when Trump has had complete control of the government and gotten nothing fucking done with it. It's a cop out, and it's just not having accountability for the people in charge. It is what it is. But here you go. This is the play for the midterms, I guess. I guess Republicans, I guess they're just throwing in the towel. This is what it feels like to me. Republicans are like, we have fucking nothing. We know we're going to get trashed. We know we're terrible. Let's just throw in the towel. Let's blame the left. Blame Biden. Pray for the best, right? That's the midterm strategy. And you see it right here. JD Vance says, Joe Biden left us in a terrible situation. The reason why gas prices are so high today is because of Donald Trump's work to get them lower. Because in Biden administration, they were crazy high. No, as it says here, gas prices were under $3 a gallon when nationally when Joe Biden left office. They are over $4 a gallon today. Okay, that's just, it's not true. This is not how this works. You can't take when Joe Biden left office, and again, you guys know I'm no fan of Joe Biden at all. But when Joe Biden left office and inflation's at 2.7% and gas prices are under $3 a gallon nationally, and then you fucking destroy that, Donald Trump, you don't get to then go, it's their fault. No, because it was these things are way less when you took over, bro. Right? Again, it's just not having accountability for your own political party, which we don't do here. But this graphic, guys, I saw was pretty great. And this is kind of what we've been in for the last year, right? Which is the Donald Trump cyclical graphic, which is you bomb Iran, oil prices go up. You sell your oil stock, right? If you're Donald Trump or you're his buddies. You say peace is near, oil goes down. You buy oil stock, and then you bomb Iran. This has been what we saw. This is the weekend stock market manipulation in a single chart. There it is. It's that simple. I wish we would have been trading on this, guys. We should have been trading on this for 5 months on oil futures. Because that's literally what's happening. All right, here's another thing. Let's blame Biden for this too, I guess. Why not while we're at it? So we talked about the strategic oil reserves. This is a big deal. We all know that they are dangerously low, getting close to zero. Especially that's great since, a third of the world's oil supply is shut off. But it says here, Biden drained our strategic petroleum reserve, and now Trump has drained it even further to mask the impact. Well, okay, this was Biden here at close to a little over 650 million barrels in the strategic reserve. Donald Trump is now down here at a 43-year low, just over 300 million barrels left, which is about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how fast we release it. Doesn't seem great. Doesn't seem great, especially when we're at a war that's obviously shutting down all of our access to oil as well. So you got that. Some other good things going on with the economy. If you are somebody that, has parents like I do that are on Medicaid, and prescription drugs are literally like the number one cost that they have in their lives. Donald Trump is here to help you. All right. We can finally say one good thing Donald Trump has done. Thank God. Let's take a look. So, just kidding. No, Trump plans 100% tariff on generic drugs starting in August. So yes, generic versions of drugs that are much cheaper. So that way your parents can afford them. So they don't have to pay $800 for, a single dose of whatever. No, Donald Trump's making sure to ramp up the cost of generic drugs. So yes, your parents can't even afford their fucking pharmaceuticals at all. So there you go. Yay. Woo. Just kidding. And here's more on this, as you can see here. It says, breaking, Trump says the U.S. will impose 100% tariff on all imported drugs beginning August 2028, and then rising to 200% in August of 2029. As somebody said here, yes, this is going to kill thousands of Americans. Yes, it will. So, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. affordable generic drugs, yeah, we're going to ramp up the cost on those by 200% by next year. Sick, dude. Sick. Oh, boy. All right, but who's doing well? Who's doing well? Well, Trump's doing well. Here's a definite. You guys know this demographic, right? It's typically reversed where dad asks son how he's doing. It says here, President Trump has promoted over 20 companies on True Social just days after buying their stocks, as CNN reports. Yeah. Wow. It is so wild. It is so wild, like, watching all of this. Like, every single day is something that's like the most corrupt shit you've ever seen in your entire life. Things that would have like put Richard Nixon's Watergate to shame. Trump's dropping them every day, bro. Every day. Just pumping stocks on True Social, just literally just buying stocks and then posting on True Social to tell all of his followers to go buy it to rack the cost up, and then he sells it out and fleeces the American people. On top of all the crypto scams. It's wild. I don't know how people watch this too, and they're just like, yup, that's my president, baby. It's rough. It's rough out here. Sorry if I'm a little bit sarcastic tonight, but this dude is just the fucking absolute worst. And, at some point. All right, here's even more. It's crazy. I told you the economy was big tonight, but it's just, yeah. So, hey, remember the tariffs? Remember the tariffs that they collected, that you paid for, you, the consumer, paid for because corporations passed off those costs to you? $50 billion was collected in tariffs from the U.S. consumer. Well, guess what? Donald Trump is returning that to you, not to you, the consumer. Just kidding. To corporations. Yes, all of that tariff money, all of the refunds. Remember the $2,000 tariff refunds you were supposed to get? You're not getting them. They're all going back to Amazon and all of the other corporations that, of course, passed off all of those costs to you. Now think about that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Think about the fleece on this, right? For his corporate buddies. Donald Trump imposes tariffs, right? Corporations have to pay those tariffs, but what they do is they pass off that cost to you, the consumer. So you pay those tariffs, right? And then after a year of all of us paying those tariffs, Donald Trump collects all that money, and rather than paying it back to you, the consumer, he gives it back to the corporations who didn't pay a fucking dime of it. Are we winning? Is that winning? You guys feel like you're winning? Well, at least we got some good things going on, and that's this. Yes, Donald Trump is making his own gold coins, I guess. So we have to commemorate America's 250th birthday, the U.S. Mint will begin striking $1 coins, and they're going to have Donald Trump's face on them. So there you go. We do have we got some good stuff. At least Trump is really helping. Now there is some good news this week, and that is Elon Musk lost $650 billion in the last month. Now, I'd love to say that that's great news because, he lost $650 billion, but he still got $700 billion. So, well, I don't think he's hurting that bad. But there you go. At least he's not a trillionaire anymore. We don't have any trillionaires. So there's that. All that because SpaceX is basically burned into the ground. One last thing for the economy, not our economy, but Uganda's economy. Wow. Uganda has just discovered over 31 million metric tons of gold worth $12 trillion. $12 trillion in gold by Uganda. Absolutely incredible. Let me ask you guys, how long do you think it's going to be until the United States has to bring some freedom to Uganda? Mm-hmm. Or, Uganda's got a communist or whatever we're going to call it dictatorship that we've got to remove. I have a yeah, everybody's already on it in the chat. Yes, Uganda, we might have to pivot to Uganda instead of Cuba next, would be my guess in the way American imperialism works. We might be headed that direction. Okay. Oof. God, guys, this is going to be a big show tonight. There's just so much to talk about. So much to talk about. But we're cooking. We're moving. All right. Let me get rid of some of these. Free up some space here. Oh, we still got a lot to get through. Okay, next section is going to be the Trumpster himself. There's a lot of good stuff here, but we're going to hit some super chats first, and then luckily we got some comedy. We got some comedy coming up front, all right? I know it's been a little dark. It's been a little morose. We've covered World War III. We've covered the economy is tanking into the gutter. We got some comedy coming up, okay? All right, so we can all try to get some laughs in the levity of the situation that is our lives, which is turning into an abject disaster in real time. All right, but some super chats first. Philip, no comment, big donation. Thank you so much, Philip. Next time, leave a comment. That's super, super generous of you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Katie, happy birthday. Appreciate it. 8 months. Katie's been a member for almost a year. Appreciate you being with us and being such a big supporter of the show. Thanks, Katie. All right, Sean found the bullet on his nightstand. Yeah, there's that. Six's mom says, pig farmer here. I've actually shot wild boars, not similar at all to a person's neck. Just saying, happy birthday. 40s were my favorite decade. Enjoy aloha from Kauai. Well, yes, they're actually way stronger than a human, and that's why I used a full-size hog for my ballistic test, which ripped the animal completely in half, right? So showed that as well, but Six's mom not wrong. She's not wrong here. A wild hog is way, way stronger than a human neck for sure. Cheeky says, thank you, Six's mom. Appreciate you for also being a longtime supporter of the show. Says, I'm left, but a constitutionalist, and I love your channel. I work with the homeless and mentally ill for a decade. I help many vets. I just want to salute you and thank you for what you do. Well, thank you for what you do. That's absolutely phenomenal that you're doing really, really important work. So thank you. And also thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Anna says, I'm so sick of our leaders spending all our money on chapstick and knee pads. Well, there's a lot of going on in Washington, D.C. today right now, especially with BB being here, huh? Thank you, Anna. Is BB going to visit New York? I hope so. Because, old Mom Donnie promised to arrest him. I don't think he's going to visit there, though. But anyway, thank you. Shell says it's an international poker game and everyone's cheating. That's a great way to look at it, actually. Bo of the fifth column. Thank you. Didi says, if I wanted to make it possible for America to go after certain individuals that flee to our greatest ally, it seems like the way a weakened Iran wiped out Gaza and rushed to do all the above. America depleted. It feels that way, huh? And literally, we are depleted. We have no money. We are broke, and we have no munitions. We have no ability to fight this war. We have no oil, as we just saw in the reserves. So it's not looking great for the United States going forward. All right, a couple more, and we'll jump back in here. Joe says, what's up, Joe? My guess is Ukraine is trading all their hard-earned drone knowledge against Russia for favors from Washington to be used against Iran. Just saying, you're probably not wrong, Joe. We actually are pretty far behind when it comes to drone capabilities. I know that, talking to my active duty buddies. So pretty decent take here. I think you're probably onto something on that. Thank you, Joe. All right, Katie says, I can't think of anything that would honor Lady G's legacy more than all of our leaders gathering together to start, World War III in his honor. You're 100% right, Katie. All right, last one. This Diet Coke's giving me the hiccups. All right. Ukraine has every right to defend itself against Russian invasion and military equipment used to attack troops and citizens. America first. Can't fault for Ukraine to attack with their own resources. Okay, why are they bombing Iran? What's the point here? Yes, they can defend themselves. Why are they bombing Iran? Is that defending themselves? Was Iran attacking Ukraine? Because last I checked, fucking Iran hasn't done anything to Ukraine. And now Ukraine's bombing Iran. So is this really Ukraine? Is Ukraine really just defending themselves? They're just defending themselves? I don't think so, buddy. Not now that they're bombing other fucking countries. Not how it works. Okay, come on. We got to use our brains. We got to use our brains. All right. Sorry. See how that argument is fucking out the window? Ukraine is just defending themselves. No, they're fucking not. They're bombing other fucking countries now, just like Israel. If you haven't put two and two together, Ukraine is a Zionist nation. It's little Israel. Okay. We're going to talk about all that tomorrow. All right. So again, sorry, that argument's gone. That doesn't work anymore. Okay. You don't get to bomb other random fucking countries and be like, we're defending ourselves. No. Not how it works. But thank you. Okay. Not trying to beat you up, but We have to use a little bit more critical thinking than that. Okay. Up until maybe recently, you can make that argument, but not anymore. That's gone. That's out the window. Also, potentially big misstep by Ukraine, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, last one. They are arming the invaders in Europe. They will give them blue helmets next, peacekeeping boots. U.S. soil is coming. Prepare accordingly. Ooh, the UN. Yeah, NATO's not even that, not at all yet, but they probably will be. Okay. All right, let's move it. Let's keep moving. We are starting with the Trumpler. The Trumpler is next. Thank God we get to switch to some comedy. Here we go.
People get mad at me. What are you saying? There's no deep state? No, dummy. But if the deep state can never be affected or impacted or changed, then why even elect this guy? Why did you all get excited and wear the dumb hats, dummies? Why did you care so much about this guy and his election if this deep state, if you were just going to blame everything on the deep state, then what the hell was the point? Why did you go to the rallies? Were you just trying to go to a concert? And that's really what it was. Did you just like the merch? Why did you care so much about this guy? Why isn't he investigating his own assassination attempt? Let's talk about the deep state for a minute, by the way. Why don't we know anything about the guy that assassinated him? Okay? Or tried to. Sorry, attempted. I'm not saying there's no deep. I'm not saying there's not some permanent government apparatus. I've talked about it a million times on the show. I get it. But for the people that ran on upending the deep state to then come in and blame things on the deep state, seems like you have to be an idiot for that to work. Why were you excited for this guy to win? Why did anyone think it would be interesting for this guy to win if he was just going to do all the things that this deep state wants him to do? What is he doing that they don't like, by the way? Maybe some tariffs that'll just expire the minute he's out of office? He's in Iran. He kidnapped Maduro. Flock cameras are everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
The attack people are getting all the money. So who is this deep state again? Who are these people that are really upset and up in arms with him? Who are they? I don't know who they are. He seems to be. What would they want him to do that he's not doing?
So, 100% true. We talked about this forever on the show. Trump is the deep state. We haven't figured this out. It's still bizarre to me that Magus has some 7D chest. He's going to bring down the deep state while he installs the surveillance state. And again, we're going to look at some things that he's pushing here, like this. This guy. This is the guy. He said this week. Trump says he urged everyone, Americans, to embrace data centers, saying you can't fight it. This is Donald Trump. This is president. This is the guy who's supposed to be combating the deep state.
Because you have to convince your community how great these things. You can't fight it. You have to go with it. And you're going to have all that protection, and we're giving you automatic protection. But you're going to make a tremendous amount of money. You're going to reduce taxes. And you're going to have something that if you don't have it, everybody else wants it. Because
I mean, this dude is literally out there saying you can't fight it. We're going to install the data centers. Too fucking bad. And they're going to make tons of money off of it. He is the deep state guy. He is the deep state. More so than anybody we've ever seen before. More than Biden, more than Obama, more than Bush, more than Clinton. He is the deep state. Like to the D. All right, real quick. Let's look at this because it's also funny here from funny one from Keith.
Trump is secretly spiraling about the sudden death of Lindsey Graham at age 71 caused 80-year-old Donald Trump to ponder his own mortality. He's actually confiding in people that he's really scared that this is all going to end soon. Donald Trump has been wondering for a long time about whether or not he's going to make it into heaven, and he's thinking about his own mortality. And I don't think that's going to help us. I actually think it's impacting the way that he's making decisions now, because I don't think he has any sense of agency over the decisions he make are going to actually help the country or the world. And we're seeing that play out in real time where he's making decisions where you can tell he does not have any care about the impacts on you or me, because he's really not sure he's going to be around for a while.
All right, so this is interesting. This one's interesting. That Donald Trump is apparently freaking out about dying. And well, I think it's actually fair for him to be so panicked and concerned. Now, if you are someone who believes in faith and you believe in a heaven and a hell, right? If you're Donald Trump, I would be fucking horrified to die if I was Donald Trump too. Because there's only, if let's say, right, whatever your faith is, whatever you believe, but let's say hypothetically, heaven and hell exist. The bad boys go down there, the good boys go up there. There is a 100% chance, based off of Donald Trump's life that he has led, he is going straight down there. Not a 0.01% up there, 100% chance he's going straight to the pits. And so I understand. For me, if I'm Donald Trump, I'm basically praying to God that there is no God, that there is oblivion. The best case scenario for Donald Trump is death is oblivion. Because if hell exists, he's going to be down there getting pineapples shoved up his rectum by Lucifer all day long. Him and Lady G, right? BB eventually. They're all going to be down there hanging out together, right? So I get it. I get it why he's scared, right? He should be, because there's only one place he's headed to. So again, just a little funny aside there, but I get it. Now, this is hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw this picture. So this picture was taken, the picture on the right was taken a couple days ago. And my God, I mean, first of all, look how healthy that ear is though, right? Look at this ear. Just the healthiest ear you've ever seen in your entire life. Absolutely incredible. But oh my God, this is just, whew, I don't know what's going on here. But the White House decided to, here's the White House's version that they tried to release themselves here on the left, as you can see, heavily. Somebody said he's turning into a frog. Yeah, he looks like he's turning into a frog. But oh my God. I mean, the healthiest part about Donald Trump is his ear, which is pretty wild, isn't it? Anyway, that's just, man, I can see why he's worried, right? Because I don't know what this is. A lot of fluid in that body, a lot of fluid. All right, let's just get into some just ridiculous, crazy shit as he's been posting on True Social all week. We love to do this section of the show. What's Donald Trump been up to? These are all things Donald Trump posted of himself on True Social over the last couple of days. All right, so here's all AI-generated images Trump's been posting of himself. Here's him apparently driving a battleship through the Strait of Hormuz with a hat that says FAFO on. Cool. Here we go. Here's another one he posted. Guardians of the World. Here's Trump with some F-35s blowing up Iran, I guess. Sick. Here's another one. Here's Donald Trump posting himself with an American flag, taking over an oil tanker. So we got that going on. Definitely doesn't have dementia. Definitely not staying up all night posting weird, bizarre AI images of himself. This is totally normal behavior for a human being, by the way. Totally normal behavior. Here's another one of him, I guess, taking an Iranian oil tanker. Very, very cool. Cool, Trump. Very cool. And, yeah, there's the final one that we saw already. Okay, so very, very cool. Okay, very cool. What else has Trump been up to? Well, actually, I want to come back to these here in a second. All right, here's some more True Social Trump. Wow. First of all, what a absolute disaster here. He posts himself with JFK. Yeah, AI generated image of himself with JFK. Perfect comment down here by Jared Schultz. Shout out to you, who said, JFK would have hated you, bro. And yes, JFK would have absolutely despised everything about Donald Trump. But there you go, posting, again, just AI slop images of himself on Twitter. Here's another one he posted. This one is bizarre. Let's break this down, okay? So Donald Trump, you guys may have seen this, posted this. It's showing how many soldiers have been killed in each conflict. You've got the Vietnam War, Korean War, Iraq War, Afghanistan War. Then he posts himself over here, separated from the other presidents. Why he calls this the Venezuelan War when it was a one-day combat operation, not sure. But anyway, Iran military conflict, 4 months, 18 dead. Now, I think it's very important to identify a few things here. Okay, first being, hey, Donald Trump, you were president in 2016 to 2020 while the Afghanistan and Iraq war were still going. You also fall under these two fucking wars, you fucking idiot. So there's that. Next, he also is bragging that in the Iran conflict, we've only had 18 killed in 4 months. 18 killed in 4 months. He's bragging about that as if he doesn't know, which he didn't know. Do you guys know how many people were killed in Operation Enduring Freedom, Afghanistan, in the first 4 months of the war? Anybody know? Because again, Donald Trump's trying to brag like 18 soldiers is that's impressive, right? Well, if you actually look at Operation Enduring Freedom, in the first 2 years of that war, it was fought by basically 24 Green Berets. There was only four soldiers killed in the first 5 months of Operation Enduring Freedom, buddy. So you're already on pace at 5 times the deaths of Afghanistan in the war in Iran. Not, again, I get it. His MAGA base is too dumb to listen to any of that type of stuff. But yeah, either three or four in the first 5 months, I believe. But my point is, the guy doesn't know how time works. And also, you were fucking president during 2 of those goddamn wars that you're not including yourself in, bro. You were president for 4 years of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. I know. I was in Afghanistan when you were president. Myself. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Okay. More bizarre stuff. Again, at least some of these are funny, right? Donald Trump also had this to say.
But after hearing the gunshots, many people yelled, "Get down, get down," which caused Nicki Minaj to start twerking. Do you believe it? Get down. She's the only one that really understood what that meant.
He's talking about that totally not faked White House Correspondents' Dinner assassination attempt, by the way. There you go. Okay. President of the United States, everybody. Wow. All right. Okay. At Lady G's funeral today, Donald Trump says, Lady G, he never saw a war he didn't like, as him and all the other warmongers honor his legacy. So we got that going. And then proceeded to fall asleep at the funeral.
Now, he saw what was happening to you and your family as a grave injustice, and the world could see.
Just fucking racked. Just racked. You know, pretty normal stuff. Somebody said, looking like an iguana. But anyway, so Trump just racked out there at Lady G's funeral, you know, really. All right, hold on. We got another one. This one's also, we got some, luckily this section of the show is funny. Here's Donald Trump being called a pedophile protector. Again, this is starting to be a really common thing where he's getting heckled at rallies.
And companies were coming in and just robbing us blind. And it was causing tremendous problems for your jobs. But now all of that is changing because I placed historic tariffs on foreign producers and manufacturers, including a 25% tariff on foreign automobiles.
I love how he's trying to, you could hear him raise his voice as he's trying to like yell over the top of the guy screaming, "You're a pedophile protector."
Something that no other president had the courage to ever do. He's a communist.
Oh, there it is. Called him a communist. He finally gave in. Trump calls the guy calling him pedophile protector a communist. Yes, a communist. All right, here's some other bizarre ones. Donald Trump posting on True Social. I keep seeing these. So Donald Trump posts, MAGA candidates won everything last night in Arizona. Complete sweep. I won Arizona 18 months ago. The Democrats are dumbfounded. After decades, Arizona is becoming a Republican state. Congratulations to all. Yes, I do want to say congratulations to all those Republican candidates who won in their Republican primaries. Yes, it was all Republican primaries. If you don't know how a primary works, apparently Donald Trump doesn't know, as he's bragging about how Republicans won all of their primaries. in a Republican primary, there's 2 Republicans. So it turns out it was only Republicans running against Republicans. And yes, to Donald Trump, he's not lying. All Republicans did win their Republican primaries. Well done. Well done. Well done to the Republicans and MAGA in those Republican primaries. Absolutely incredible work. Now, there is good news. The crowds are starting to turn on Trump. So this is another one. We've got these. I don't know how these guys got right behind Trump, but let's just watch.
More money is being invested in the United States right now than at any time in the history of our country. And Americans are working today more so than ever before. We have more jobs today than we've ever had, and it's not even close. More people are working.
So here's Trump. They're in the background doing Trump impersonations of him right behind. I don't know how they got right here.
And more money is being invested in the United States right now than at any time in the history of our country. And Americans are working today more so than ever before. We have more jobs today than we've ever had.
So I do like this. I do like that this is becoming more and more and more common, where he's getting heckled and fucked with when he tries to go to rallies by people who are getting in the crowd and making fun of him for things like that. Now, I just can't. This is all just this. Everything I've shown you has been posted by Trump just this week. Okay, just this week. Here's another one. The White House has time to apparently make this. Marjorie Taylor Greene posted this as she says, people can't afford gas, groceries, rent, healthcare. And this is just weird and embarrassing crap that the White House official account, yes, the White House official account posted this. The official White House social media account is posting AI Rick and Morty versions of MAGA and Donald Trump. I don't know how much time and effort is going into making stuff like that for them to post that on the official White House account. But yes, that wasn't some austere random person that posted that Donald Trump reshared. That was made by the White House and the official White House account. Now, you also have the manosphere other than Joe Rogan, who somehow still loves Donald Trump. Everybody else is completely turning on him. Here's Shane Gillis.
I hate to get on Trump stuff, but have you seen the plaques?
No, I heard about it. So his plaques under everybody's name?
Yeah, he's kind of trashing every other president.
The White House.
He's not beating the dictator charges. This is like an African dictatorship.
Bro, this is crazy.
Changed the name. I think they're changing the name of the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center.
Oh boy! Somebody needs to tell him, like, hey, this is not good. You can't do that, because then other people could do that too, and then the White House stops being the White House.
No way, Joe.
Anyone's going to do what he's doing. Who's going to be the Democrat? Who's next? Fucking Gavin Newsom? He's not going to fucking put up a plaque.
Of course he would.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to put up a plaque. That'll just be everywhere.
But that's so disturbing. That's such crazy thinking.
Fucking lackey put that shit up and was like, do you like this? He fucked up on Twitter this week.
What, with the Rob Reiner thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. So again, I don't understand how Joe's still just glazing Trump all the time. He'll like criticize him and joke around when he's got other guys on the show who are trashing Trump, and then you turn around and he's hanging out with Trump at the White House, and you're just like, okay. This is insane. If you want to talk about our country being fucking occupied, look at this. So, story is coming out of Bibi showing up today and purposely brought his dirty laundry to force Trump and the White House staff to clean his dirty laundry. Wow. That's, I mean, wow, bro. You want to talk about being a cuck, our government? Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I have heard that. I heard that this is something he's been doing for a long time. Yeah, that's what the article talked about that this is actually apparently what Bibi does. He'll bring a bunch of dirty laundry and then force the White House to clean it for him. How fucking crazy is that? It's just a humiliation ritual, guys. Isn't that the wildest? I mean, there's no reason. Like, it's not like he needs the White House to clean his laundry. He's doing it on purpose to just humiliate and degrade our commander-in-chief in the White House. Is that not insane? And we're just like, okay. All right, next we're going to talk about what the influencers have going on. There's some good, there's some bad. We're going to talk about some data centers, some flock cameras, some different things. Before we do that, let's hit some super chats first so we stay caught up. Catch the Junebug says, happy birthday. Thank you for all you do. It's so important. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody for the birthday wishes. Appreciate it, guys. Get Rex says, happy to have served Obama, Trump, Biden, and Trump again. Thank God I'm getting out. Can't serve Bibi. We can't bend over far enough to take that. It's been good rise, HIMARS and cannons for 12 years. Yeah, man. You didn't have Bush either, but yeah, I served under Obama, Trump, Biden, all as well. Pretty wild. I did serve under Bibi. I think we all served under Bibi, unfortunately. But at least I didn't know I was serving under Bibi back then. You know what I mean? They tricked us. We're all left. Yeah. Didn't Iran enter the war against Ukraine when it sold drones to Russia? No, that's not how it works. Or else everybody would be at war with everybody, man. Everybody sells everybody different weaponry and stuff like that. Nope, that's not how it works. Keep in mind, the United States has been supplying Ukraine with what, $350-400 billion worth of weapons and equipment as well. So no, that's not how that works. Now you can say that's a proxy, right? That's what we would call a proxy war, right? Where you're not actually in the war, but you're sharing intelligence, you're selling weaponry. That's called proxy warring, which the United States is a shit ton of that too. So does Russia. But yeah, no. North Korea is sending 30K troops to Ukraine. What does that look like? That looks like a world war to me. How many seconds to midnight do you think we'll be at by the end of this year? I don't know, man. I don't know. The scary thing is, it's like the famous Albert Einstein quote, right? Where he talked about back then when they had just developed the atom bomb. And he said, and I think this is a good quote. This might not be perfect to what he said. This is just me remembering off the top of my head. Something along the lines of, I don't know what weapons will be used to fight World War III, but I know World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. And I think that's kind of the idea that World War III with the modern technology that we have is terrifying compared to any time in modern or earlier history world wars. We didn't have the technology we have now. With the technology that we have now, a world war is pretty terrifying for everybody. Fix the cow in the cat tree. Uh-oh. Wangus fell down. Wangus. There we go. All right, good call. Didn't see that he fell down. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Will says, Japan has just informed investors to pull out of U.S. markets. Bring the cash back home. That's great. This is what happens when you kick the real allies to the curb, which we have done. Yeah, because Asia is absolutely hosed right now because they get the vast majority of their oil out of the Strait of Hormuz and the Strait of Mandab. And yeah, it's not great. Thank you, Will. Big bagel. Okay. All right. Can't say that one. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. And just after Lady G visited Ukraine. Isn't that interesting? Parting gifts, maybe. Donald, if you can hear me, please save us. Donald Trump. I don't think he can hear you. Uncle says, happy birthday, Nate. I'll be 41 next week. You're an uncle as well. That's right. We're both unks, brother. Thank you so much. Flying Jazz says, as a Marine from 2007, 2011, I've never seen a lateral crawl in my life. That's an infantryman and a sniper team. Looking at it, comes up from English, Indian, Pakistan military training. Interesting. Adam says, I sent you a few messages on Instagram, probably lost in the flood. Yeah. It's I got to actually like catch them right away because we get spammed over there. I had to make a new IG account, so it might be spam. Video is on my YouTube. It had over 100K views on X before I got permanent. Oh, it's over on your YouTube channel? Oh, I'll just pull it up from there then. Yeah, I'll watch it later tonight, brother. I follow you over on your YouTube channel. Lady G says, do you want to see my ladybugs? All right, two more and we'll jump back into the show. The Antichrist is rubbing his hands together. Babylon the Great is raiding his armies for Armageddon. Where is the religious character? I hope not. I don't want to. I mean, I guess like maybe it would be cool to like be alive during Armageddon, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I just want to, live out my life and have my kids be able to have a good life and their grandkids. You know what I mean? That would be cool. That'd probably be cooler. All right, last one. Adam says people believe a 1 in a billion shot from a 30-06 is what unalive CK. They're conspiracy theorists. We are the same ones. Now, Adam, technically, I think it's higher than a 1 in a billion. It might be closer to 1 in a million. So, let's be fair. Let's be fair to the other side, right? Let's give them a little bit of grace on their conspiracy theory. But yeah, I mean, the odds of it is just, I don't know. I don't know how low it is, but as you guys have seen, nobody's been able to recreate that, right? So, well, yeah, but Adam's right. But yeah, let's give him a little bit of grace and say 1 in a million. That feels a little bit better. Okay, let's jump into it. Let's see what the influencers have to say. We're going to talk a little bit about data centers, flock cameras, and whatnot. Let's see what Theo had to say about that.
We don't want any data, bro. Nobody wants a data center, dude. Nobody wants it. And the people that want them, to me, bro, they seem kind of evil. Yeah. It's like, what's going to happen? You fall down and you get a bunch of loose data flies out of the factory or something now, and your kid's got, he's got 5 episodes of Dutton Ranch or whatever stuck in his neck or something. It's gotten crazy. We don't want it. Nobody wants the shit. And so here's what I think. I really believe this. I think I really believe it. I don't know, but I believed it yesterday. I believe that some people know how to live forever. They've cracked the code. And so suddenly they have to put the rest of us, they have to lock us down. They have to. Because if everybody finds out about it, then everybody's going to be able to do it, right? There's got to be some people have to separate themselves. And I think this is how they're doing it. They're creating these data centers. I believe this is my hypothesis, theory, that it's all going to be locked in with these flock cameras or some company like this, Palantir. One of these companies is going to be owning all of this information. They're going to put it all in. We're all going to be locked down.
Well, that I agree with. And yeah, to Theo's point, they're talking about it. Here's fucking Alex Karp right here, who said himself that the United States need to be very careful not to follow Europe's example in regulating AI. As he says here, this revolution has taken off and you can't put it back in the bag. Card asserted. Palantir, NVIDIA, and several other major tech companies signed a letter urging the Trump administration to not ban open-weight AI models. Anthropic and OpenAI, both closed-weight frontier labs, did not sign the letter. So it's interesting that the tech companies, their surveillance companies, are doing everything they can to try to lobby our government to let them have to be completely unregulated, right? Which basically means do whatever the fuck they want. That's what they're pushing for in our country. Now, we had Uncle Alex has also been talking about this week.
Activating the AI control grid here and in Europe right now at grocery stores, parking garages, parks, inside your houses, the smart meters, your phones, everything. And I'm really glad people have gotten awake to Flock. And that's because they're beginning to implement the tyranny of the AI system through that first. But I said, wait a few weeks. It's all starting to activate. And now the other stuff that's even worse, doesn't take away from Block, is activating. Okay? And it ties into Oracle, Palantir, all of it. Okay? Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, it's all racing. And that's just the Western systems. The Chinese ones, the communist ones are even worse. So I have a big stack of articles, reports, documents, incredible video clips of where if you walk in a parking garage, it bills you for parking a car there.
Yeah. So I've got some clips also that when I put out the episode regarding Flock, I've got this map chart, right? And it shows by date, 2024, when Flock started existing. You're starting to see tiny little dots, and it actually shows where every Flock camera is in the United States. Tiny little dots. And then you see when Trump, in January of 2025, Donald Trump takes over, the map explodes like it gets hit with a shotgun. The second Donald Trump becomes president, within that month, Flock cameras have exploded all over the country. Not to say that he's not the one who's supporting this with his tech buddies, but yeah, we're gonna cover all that in a separate episode though. But yeah, this data center fucking Flock camera stuff. Can we just not have this stuff? Why do we have to deal with this, guys? You know what I mean? It's just why can't the elites just be fucking normal people? Right? Like, can you guys just be rich and go be rich and just enjoy your time going to Gordon Ramsay's restaurants and doing whatever the fuck rich people do and just not trying to fucking lock down the entire world and surveil us nonstop? Could you please stop? I don't get it. Right? Like you already have everything. You're billionaires. Why don't you just go be rich and enjoy your lives? But they can't do it for whatever reason. So I don't know. All right, let's keep moving. Thomas Massey talked about this. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they were talking about trying to ban stock trading. Thomas Massey had said, Congress is not serious. We are voting on a stock trading ban for members of Congress, but Republicans added voter ID into the legislation, knowing that Dems would not vote for the voter ID, but to get them to vote against the stock trading ban so they can use it in the November election. So what he's saying, what that means is Republicans purposely put in a clause into the stock trading ban bill that they knew Democrats would vote against, so that way Republicans also could get the stock trading ban stopped without having to admit that's the reason why they were doing it. The uniparty, ladies and gentlemen. The uniparty in action. Now, there is some world leaders that are, I don't know, also seems like, I don't know, every time I see this guy, I kind of wonder why our own country's not doing this. So Kim Jong-un now is demanding a firing squad execution for everyone associated with the Epstein files. Good guy Kim? 2026? I don't understand how what the leadership of North Korea seems less authoritarian than the United States. I don't get it, guys. I don't get how we got here, but somehow we're here. Somehow we're here. Okay. Let's see. Let me get back to this. All right. Here's this is an interesting one. We're going to talk about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about political revolution.
What is there to vote for at this point? Why pay taxes? I'm for a full political revolution. I think it's necessary. It's the most American thing that we could do. Have a full political revolution. Why pay taxes? I mean, we're not even mandated to do it anyways.
I love it.
That's a whole nother lie that there is.
I love it. I would love to have you on. I saw that you had an interview with another fellow who.
All right, we'll stop there. So, I like that. Here's what I would say. Marjorie, you are in a great position to lead that movement. So I think what Marjorie should do is not pay taxes, and she should try to get everybody else on board, and she should show us that she's not paying taxes. So that way everybody has the courage to get behind her, right? Because it's very easy for us to say that, but then nobody leads the charge. Nobody leads the revolution. This is the problem, is we all feel this way, but you have to have someone that leads that type of movement. That Uh-oh. All right, I don't know what happened there. I'm going to skip on by what we were just talking about because it's very bizarre that the second I got to that topic, the stream went down. So we're going to go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen. That was like the sketchiest thing I was worried about talking about on the entire episode tonight. So, yeah, we're going to move on to the next subject and just pretend that whatever we were talking about, we weren't talking about. So, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Okay? That was weird. It's super weird how that happens every time where I'm on like the one topic I shouldn't be talking about. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know why that just happened. But all right, let's keep moving. All right, let's move on to the Save America Act. So GOP Senate leader John Thune has just informed Donald Trump that Republicans will not end the filibuster and will not pass the Save America Act, saying that Democrats aren't supporting the bill and the GOP won't change the Senate rules. So there you go. All of Donald Trump's hopes and dreams about the Save America Act looks like, it's not going to happen. So the looks like the Save Act is dead on arrival, which of course it is because it's unconstitutional. There's a poll tax in it. I've talked about it 100 times on the show. You cannot require voter ID while voter ID costs money because it is then a poll tax, which is unconstitutional. If you want to make that happen, you need to make government issued IDs free for all of Americans, which I still am supporting and pushing that, but nobody wants to listen to me. So that's the way that goes. Oh, well. Okay, but here's Donald Trump's response. He was not happy. So Donald Trump responded to John Thune, and wait till you see this. So Trump says yesterday, John Thune should not allow the United States Senate to leave town until it passes the Save America Act, or far better, terminates the filibuster where Republicans can quickly pass everything they ever dreamed of. And then he says, including a full and deep-throated Save America Act. Sorry, I have no idea what he is saying here. The budget and the ever-looming debt ceiling disaster 1929, the Democrats will do it on day one and can't blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure what a full and deep-throated Save America Act is. I don't know if you guys have any ideas what we're talking about here, but yes, I feel like maybe his speechwriter here, or his tweet writer, slid that one in on purpose because, yeah, I'm not sure what we're talking about there. But yes, full and deep-throated Save America Act. Now, just bizarre things that Republicans have been saying. Here's another one on top of that. So Tim Scott said, you can't fill a Lindsey Graham hole. Wow. That is not something I would say as a grown man about Lady G. But yes, Tim Scott, South Carolina's other Republican, you know what, this week with George Stephanopoulos has said, yes, he really did say this. You can't fill a Lindsey Graham hole. Now, I'm sure there are, here comes the memes from the chat. Here it comes. Now, I was just going to say something along the lines of that, you know, there's probably plenty of prostitutes in Washington, D.C. that would disagree with that one, but I don't know. Apparently not. All right, here we go. More influencers. Oh, my God. Look at Glenn Beck. what is going on with Glenn Beck? He is just full. I don't think I've ever seen a human being this red. But let's somehow Glenn Beck, maybe just from like you glazing so hard, he somehow thinks Donald Trump is outmaneuvering the Pentagon and the deep state. But again, I'm more concerned with this fucking skin color. Holy shit.
He outmaneuvered our best thinkers at the Pentagon. Our best thinkers at the Pentagon said, this is the way we fight this. Oil will go to $150 to $350 a barrel. That collapses the economy. Donald Trump says, well, that's
just what is happening here? I've never seen someone this red. Oh my God.
not how I'm going to fight the war. I'm going to fight the war differently, and I'm going to keep the strait open. And they're like, Mr. President, you're not going to be able to. No, really? Watch me. And he has kept the price between $110 and $70 a barrel. Today, I think it's an $83 or $88 a barrel, which is
terrible. $88 a barrel, almost $90 a barrel is terrible. It's horrifically bad. That's why gas is fucking $5 to $6 a gallon in most of the country. So I'm not really sure. Again, like MAGA, it has got to be rough being MAGA. Like you have to somehow, you got to come out and do content like that where you try to make it sound like $90 a barrel oil is a good thing. Trump's playing 7D chess. Oil's only $90 a barrel. Yeah, that's horrible, bud. That's horrible, Glenn. Again, why are you so red? What is happening? All right, here's more of the MAGA movement here. Here's old Vivek.
Consistent at every step. We will not end aid to Israel until Israel tells us they are ready for it.
All right, if you couldn't hear it because it's a little bit bad audio. Vivek said, "We will not end aid to Israel until Israel tells us to stop giving them aid." Because, yeah, that's how things work when you're giving people free shit. Yes, when you're giving people billions of dollars, you just got to hope that they decide one day that they're going to tell you, hey, America, please stop giving us billions of dollars. Because I'm sure that's going to happen. Thanks, Vivek, for that hot take. Yes, MAGA, absolutely fantastic. Love these guys, huh? I'm sure that's how that works. Let's see what else. Let's look at some other weirdos in MAGA. Oh, here's the weirdest of them all. And that is Stephen Miller, who came out this week and said, Democrats have become a party of freaks, weirdos, losers, and crazies. But you can laugh it off because it's deadly serious. This guy, Stephen Miller, is calling people freaks, weirdos, and losers. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So I don't know how we look in the mirror. And somebody says Gollum said what? Yeah, I don't know, buddy. That's a tough sell. Another one. You've got old Jack Pussyback here, who said this week, the amount of people, he's talking about people like me, by the way, me, Candace, Barron, Ian, he's attacking us here, says, the amount of people who got paid to attack Trump's peace deal with Iran is astounding. We're only now just scratching the surface of these foreign ops. Oh, and here they are, by the way. Here's all these dorks with their Epstein binders, obviously all with their scripts, all as paid assets. We all know that. So that's nice. That's nice. Thanks, Jack Pussyback. But yeah, I think we all know who's getting paid. And I wish there was people paying me for this. I would be honest with you. I wouldn't even hide it. If I had people paying me a shit ton of money to come in here and talk shit about everything I talk shit about and be America first, and everything I put forward is trying to do the best possible thing for the American working class people, I wish somebody was paying for me for that. That'd be fucking sweet. But it turns out there ain't no money. There ain't no money on our side, but that's okay. That's okay. That's why you guys watch. Turns out nobody watches their content. Now, a little bit more. We've got Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity with an absolute banger. I did not realize Sean Hannity, Timu Jason Bourne, describing just how badass he really is. Here's him talking about how he disarms people that try to, rob him with a gun. Here we go.
Please don't make me hurt you. Somebody puts a gun on my face. I'll strip it, break their finger, step back, and I'm going to tap it, rack it, and I'm going to rack it like this, and so I'll have 4 over 3 against them. And I go, you're laughing. Why? I said it. This is what I do. I train.
If you guys don't know who that is, that's Sean Hannity from Fox News. And it's somebody who is actually experienced.
All right. So he's going to say the same thing I am. But yes, Sean Hannity. Did you hear that? How confident he was? If somebody comes up and puts a gun to my face, I snap it and I break their finger and I tap, rack, and then I got him with it 4 over 3, baby. Sean, I would love to issue you a public challenge here on the show where I would love for you to demonstrate and see if you can disarm me. Sean, if you can disarm me and disarm a pistol out of my hands and turn it around on me, and we could put it up on social media and show everybody how calculated and tactical you are and do it for charity even. So there you go, Sean. Public challenge to you to try to disarm me, Nate Cornacchia, with a pistol and see how well it goes for you, bud. So yes, there we go. Again, pretty bizarre thing for somebody like Sean Hannity to be talking about and bragging about. Also, guys, have you ever heard me talk like that as someone who's a Green Beret, firearms instructor, trained law enforcement departments, somebody who can actually do all the things that Sean just said? Have you ever heard me say a fucking second of some cringe bullshit like that to you on the show? No, you haven't. Because only fucking theater kid fucking dork losers talk like that on the internet. So again, Sean, feel free, please reach out. Let's test it. You know what I mean? Okay, let's keep moving. Last one with MAGA. All right, yes, Lady G's sister. Yes. Has she's Buck John Thune saying she's going to stay in town until the Save America acts. And she's also announced that she's gonna just be senator for a full term, I guess, now. Because that's how monarchies work, I guess. If you die and you're in the Senate, don't worry, your sister can take your place. So yeah, she's just literally a senator now. Nobody thinks that's weird. We don't have to have any special elections. Something. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty wild. Okay, let's talk about, let's do a couple super chats and we're going to do Democrats. All right, Democrats. We got some good stuff. Good ones and bad ones with Democrats this week. Some ridiculousness. We're going to talk about the AIPAC lady. The AIPAC lady is, of course, still viral. She has broken every record possible when it comes to how much money she's received from the AIPAC lobby. So we'll get to that. Let's do a couple super chats. I just got to reset myself because of, good thing we didn't lose them. The way the stream went down. Excuse me. All right, Jen says, flashback to when I warned people Trump would start WW3. And I was told I was crazy. Yeah, well, here we are. Isn't that why you weren't supposed to vote for Kamala? Didn't they tell us that? Not to say I was a Kamala fan. In fact, I think she's a terrible choice, but just saying, they told us she would get us into World War III, and here we are. It's true that USA is depleted of missiles. It's not good. Yeah, we most certainly are. The Pentagon put that out. Yeah, it's looking not great. I'm curious, what's your EDC? I'm partial to Smith & Wesson myself. Thanks for the content, mate. Glock 17 for me personally. Not a gun I shoot with on my competition. My competition gun is a Walther PDP Pro. It's my favorite pistol, but I do like the reliability of a Glock. Okay, it's not fancy, but if I do need to pull that weapon out in the event that I need to save my own life, no, alterations to it, just literally factory with an optic on it. I really like Glock for the reliability. So that's why I go with Glock, because just the odds that thing's going to jam is extremely, extremely low. So again, not my competition gun, not what I'm going to go do USPSA matches with or anything like that. But for my EDC, that's what I prefer. Dana got the call and passed the message on to Strickland. Maybe. It's time to start having a large nonviolent public demonstrations of noncompliance. I do like this idea. This is what they did in the 60s during the Vietnam movement. It literally ended the Vietnam War, as people did exactly this. But we have not gotten coordinated. We have not gotten there is the No Kings rallies, but that hasn't, that's not like what we saw back in the 60s where this was like serious noncompliance. So hopefully we're headed that way. Jesse said his brain ain't working after Vegas. Glad you seem to be sharp and back at it. Just turned 40. May, happy birthday, brother. Welcome to the 40. or welcome to 40. Thank you. Oh, I was pretty beat up, guys. I was pretty beat up. We I drank more than I was hoping to on my birthday, but no, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. But it was my birthday. Again, like I said, I quit drinking for the most part, other than to celebrate my birthday. Also, the fact that my I'm brain farting right now. My tolerance levels are not very high. So I got a lot drunker than I was expecting to get, in a good way, right? In a good way. Because I don't drink very much, but it was fun for the birthday. But we're back at it again now. Added $5 trillion with a T to the national debt ceiling and still wants a ballroom. Yes, sir. All right, 2 more, and then we'll jump back into the show. Texas gifted 10 to all VFT memberships. Thank you so much, brother. Super, super generous. For everybody who just got those, make sure you thank Texas here. And then also keep in mind you got some fantastic, fantastic, what are they called? Stickers? No, now I'm brain farting. What are the little things we use in chat, guys? What are those called? So I'm an old boomer now. I'm an old boomer unk. I don't remember what the emojis. Yeah, thank you, Buff. Emojis. There we go. Yeah, I'm an old boomer unk now, right? I'm an old boomer unk. But thank you. Make sure you thank everybody for those. We got some great ones. All right, 2 more. We'll jump back in too. A little off topic, but have you heard about the Kandahar Giant? I get asked this all the time because I did spend a decent amount of time in Kandahar. And if so, do you have any stories from your time? Thanks. So, it's wild, guys, because if you follow my channel or not, you know that I'm super into like the Nephilim and the Book of Enoch, giants, all that stuff. And I was super into that way before I ever deployed to Afghanistan. I'll be honest with you. The first time I ever heard about the Kandahar Giant was like a year ago. All that time in Afghanistan and Kandahar, never heard it. Never heard the story. I hate to people are going to hear that and be like, oh, that kind of sucks. It means it's probably not a real story. Not say it's not a real story, but the fact that I never heard about it, even when I was there, it's not that viral of a story in Afghanistan. So, but I do. Yeah, I've heard about it, but again, nothing while I was there. We need the people to take our back. Let's get it back. All right, one more. Thank you. Sending all love to families and service members we've lost to this uselessness. Yes, I agree with you. Okay, let's jump into it. Big story coming out of the Democrats. The biggest one right now is, oh my God, Fauci's diary. Guys, I don't know who keeps getting access to these diaries, right? Like you got RFK Jr.'s diary got found and he was talking about cutting off raccoon dicks. And now you got Fauci's diary apparently is going viral right now. And yeah, reading the stuff out of his diary, it's not great, as he's been saying stuff like this. In his own diary, he wrote, "I'm the most famous and talked about person in the country." Fauci from his own diary during the darkest days of the pandemic. He also said all kinds of other different stuff. My national and international fame is explosive and really unimaginable. He said, big front page article about me appeared in the Washington Post. Very flattering. So, yeah. Turns out, what a piece of shit. He also talks about how he completely made up the idea of 6 feet social distancing, completely made up the numbers of how lethal COVID was. Not great. Not great. So again, like, guys, who's getting access to these diaries? You know what I mean? How are all these politicians getting their diaries confiscated? Like, you can't, like, why would you not burn that shit, bro? You know what I mean? You got that much terrible shit in your diary? Get rid of it, dude. You got Fauci talking about how, he made up everything about COVID. You got RFK talking about cutting off raccoon penises. Like, dude. Yeah. All right, there it is. Thank you, North. You just nailed it. Literally just solved it. Most likely wives or girlfriends that said, no, thank you. Okay. Now, actor Alan Richardson, Reacher, is pissing off MAGA pretty bad recently. Let's see why.
It's like people, I think, are a little bit afraid of me because they're like, he's a loose cannon. And I'm not. I'm just saying the shit that everybody should say if they give a shit about humanity, And why am I the exception to the rule? Bitch, everybody else speak up. You are all feeling the same thing, you idiots. Like get loud and stop kowtowing to the wrong people. Stop bowing down to people that have power. You got power too, man. And power in numbers, dude. You know what happened if everybody felt like me Everybody felt I was just see, I gotta be careful. I left Dak Shepard. I just did armchair expert with Dak Shepard. And I went on a goddamn rant that I left I was like, that's just not, man, it's just not me. I shouldn't say those things because people are gonna start to get like, he's scary.
No.
But I just dude, he goes, I love Dax. I had the best time on his show. And he goes, maybe you should let go of that stuff. And I'm like, let go. I was like, everybody else should have it. Everybody else should feel like I feel.
The world is on fire.
Oh man, about the way things are and the abuses that are happening. The Epstein files. The fucking Epstein files. God damn it. Where are they? It's a fucking law, bitch. Show it. You fucking pedophiles. I shouldn't say fuck because I'm a Christian and people are going to go like, how can he say fuck and he's a Christian? Because that is something that should make you want to say fuck. Sorry, God, I'm sweating now.
I mean, he's just us. He's just all of us. I like him. I like Reacher. I like Alan Richardson. I watched him beat up his neighbor for harassing his kids on the motorcycles. And he's super, super over the top when it comes to calling for accountability for the Epstein files and things like that, which is it's pretty rare in Hollywood, by the way. Most people in Hollywood are like, shut your fucking mouth. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about this. So I like seeing that. I like seeing that out of a Hollywood actor to just be like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna say this out loud, even if it makes you all uncomfortable. You know what I mean? We need more of that from people like him, people that have, big names and voices that can come out and say stuff like that. Now, we were just talking about Kamala. And Andrew Yang just said, Kamala Harris is getting ready to run for president. Yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Kamala is coming back. Guys, Democrats in the chat, please don't do this. Please don't do this to yourselves. You guys are getting handed 2028 on a silver platter by Trump and MAGA. You're just getting, here you go. Put up any decent candidate and you can win. And Democrats are like, you know what? Let's fucking throw this thing, boys. Get Kamala in there. It's like, no, stop it. Stop. Just stop. You have better candidates. I promise you. You do not need to try to run Kamala again. She already lost to Trump. No, don't do it. Even if you like her, do not do it. Oh my God. For the love of God, Democrats, please. Even if you like her personally, she ain't going to win. Yes, run AOC. If you want, a progressive young woman, run AOC. Kamala ain't going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. No. All right, check this out. This is wild. This is a new big push by Republicans and MAGA. If you haven't seen this, they're now trying. This is so bizarre to me. Look at this. They're making it seem. Look. Let's again. This is so crazy, right? You see the Restoring America down here. This is a Republican, political organization. Let's look at all this. Washington Examiner. You've got AOC here and Bernie Sanders who are saying no data centers, seize AI companies, and they're trying to make it seem like China is the ones pushing in America to stop data centers, flock cameras, and AI companies like this is a bad thing. First of all, China is not trying to stop data centers and AI centers in America. It doesn't make any sense. But you're portraying AOC saying no data centers like a bad thing? What? What are we doing here? That would make me like them more. Right? If they're the ones trying to protest against data centers and flock cameras and AI companies, and you're trying to make it seem like that's a bad thing? What? And also China is the one pushing that? I don't know where we're at. But I would, I mean, one, it doesn't make sense. Two, it's also just makes AOC and Bernie Sanders look good. So, all right, let's talk about, of course, she is ultra viral. Chris Farley's doppelganger. Yes, the AIPAC lady. APAC lady, this was 5 days ago. Wait till you see these numbers. She's going up about $10 million every 2 days. APAC lady 5 days ago had just hit $30 million from APAC. Yes. She became the, they call her Michigan's APAC lady. This is literally her name now. Becomes APAC's largest investment ever. That was 5 days ago. Look at this. She's now up to $46 million. Okay.
The question route, because this moment in this country and here in Michigan, people have every right to be frustrated about our campaign finance system. My opponent here on this stage, Abdul, he's got a super PAC that his father-in-law funds that has millions of dollars going into it. And look, in terms of foreign policy, you know, Abdul and I do differ. I believe in a two-state solution. He has attacked me by name for purporting that the people of Palestine and the people of Israel deserve to live side by side peacefully. The goal is always long-term peace. And also, the Prime Minister of Israel has attacked me by name.
First of all, that's not true. But the fact that she's trying to portray herself as this two-state solution, because she's a Democrat, right? She knows Democrats hate what she's doing. She has now received, as of, I believe, yesterday, $46 million from AIPAC. $46 million. Now, she got exposed for lying about exactly what we just saw her saying on the debate stage, and she didn't handle it well.
You said today you didn't take money from utilities, but you got checks from consumers in DTE a month before you entered the Senate race.
Yeah, he asked specifically about the Senate race. And look, he just asked about my current campaign. Yeah, Sam, did you have something?
Will you take donations from consumers in DTE? If you
Look, I'm gonna look.
Congresswoman.
All right, check this out. This is all posts, right? As we see, they have their massive marketing movements. Oh, she's over 50 million now. She's over 50 million. Hell yeah. Wow. For a Michigan congressional seat, 50 million. And it says here, funny how a dozen accounts discovered on the same day all said that Haley Stevens is growing on them. As you can see, yes, Mossad is out in full force. Yes, all these accounts. Have to admit, Haley Stevens is growing on me. She's growing on me. Don't kill me, but she's growing on me. I got to be honest. She's grown on me. Isn't that funny? And this just looked just like the TPUSA bots, where they all come out together. $50 million, ladies and gentlemen, from AIPAC. Oh my God. Yikes. Yikes. All right. Where were we at next? Here's another one. Our new friend of the show recently, Mamdani, came out and said just straight up on Twitter, Bibi is a war criminal. And hilariously, look who responded to it. Congressman Randy Fine comes in and says, "You're a Muslim terrorist." Well, so I do love this beef. This is my new favorite beef on the internet right now. Mamdani versus Randy Fine, the new the new beef. Now, this next one, guys, this is so, I can't even believe this is real, what I'm about to show you. But just the no chill this dude has. It's so over the top. This is Uncle Bibi here giving a gift to John Fetterman.
Give a man who has everything. How about giving him a beeper?
Oh, it's like
now this is a silver-plated beeper. The real beeper is like 1/10 the weight. It's nothing. Really? Yeah, but it changes history.
You know, when that story that story broke, yeah, and I was like, oh, I love it, and now it's like, thank you for this. Yeah, no, all right, yeah.
He's given silver-plated beepers out as gifts to his biggest shills. Now, if you know the back history to why this is insane, obviously the beeper pager story about how our greatest ally turned a bunch of beepers and pagers into IEDs and supplied them throughout Lebanon and then slaughtered a bunch of people with them. And now he's giving them as gifts. He gave a golden plated one to Donald Trump. And now he's given other people, senators, silver plated ones. You guys understand that's a threat, right? No, do we all understand that he's giving veiled threats, as in you're going to do what you're fucking told and don't forget that? And here is a device that we use to fucking kill a bunch of people. Here you go. That is a veiled threat. That is you will do what you're told. And what does old Sloth do? He comes out, he shills as hard as he can for our greatest ally. Oh, shocker. Shocker. All right. Woo! We did it. We made it to the end. A little over 2 hours, guys. That was a fun one. A lot of morose topics tonight. A lot of funny topics tonight, But oh man, I wish the world wasn't as insane as it is right now. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? So we're doing the best we can. Obviously, the foreign policy situation, foreign conflict situation is not good. Not good. I do honestly believe that we're basically seeing the start of what will be looked at 5-10 years from now as modern World War III. And I don't see us finding our way out of this very easily, obviously, which is also terrible for the economy. So I'll tell you guys, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. Make sure you guys are prepared, right? Not that you got to have an underground bunker with 10 years of food, but make sure you've got ample water, extra food reserves, extra gas reserves, different things, because you never know what's going to happen, all right? And the way everything is moving right now, the way the economy is moving right now, it's all very, very scary. Again, not trying to fearmonger. I'm just looking at the world objectively at what's happening. And it's not great, right? But hey, we're keeping positive mental attitudes about it as well and hoping for the best, right? And I'm trying to stay the best I can of not being black-pilled, so that way I don't push, being black-pilled on you guys. But we got to be realistic about what we're looking at as well, right? So, okay. Thank you guys so much. Also, let's see. Friendly reminder, tomorrow, 5 p.m. regular show time. Me and Elizabeth Lane are doing that show together where we're going to talk all about what we just talked about. World War III, Ukraine's new involvement, everything going on with that. Should be a great show for that one. We got JD Delay showing up in the chat. Who do we vote for if we are, Thomas Massey, I guess. That's about it right now. So there's that. Also Friday, we'll have a regular 5 p.m. show. Should be with the boys. We'll talk all about this. Make sure you guys, if you want to follow my clips channel, it's in the pinned comment. If you're into short form content, can't make all this. We try to get our best, most viral. No, they're not really viral, but our best clips from the live streams over there in short form content for you guys. And yeah, that's going to do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's jump into the super chats and see what we got. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Jen says, remember when people used to have a conniption fit over Nancy Pelosi's insider trading, and now the Trump-Kushner crime family does it brazenly, and it's just crickets. Whatever happened to this country? Yeah, I mean, Trump is putting Pelosi to shame. Shame. Trump makes more, I forget what the number was, but I'm pretty sure he made more stock trades in the last month than Nancy Pelosi made in her entire political career. So yeah, they don't give a shit. It's pretty wild. Thank you, Jens. Yeah. Now that we're finding out Uganda may have $13 trillion worth of gold, yes, they definitely are developing them. I bet they are. They're 2 weeks away. They're 2 weeks away, as Lewis says here. Get some freedom, Uganda. Yep. Robert E. Lee said that consolidation of states was sure to be aggressive abroad and despotic at home. Democracy is despotism. And it seems like we're headed that way, huh? Thank you. Still waiting for... Yeah, isn't that wild? Can we not get just a single decent thing? Really? We can't legalize cannabis at this point federally? Either side, Republicans or Democrats, can't get just like one decent thing? Nothing? Okay, cool. Sweet. Intelligence assets, Uganda's could have a nuclear weapon within 6 months. Yeah, 100%. I beat you to the joke. Well, you beat me to it, but I read off Right off the other one before that. Thank you. Anon says, what an awkward time to want to join the 75th Ranger Battalion Regiment, but I can't live a life with no regrets. Not pro you know who, but for some reason it's censored. MAGA, what am I supposed to do? Work for BlackRock. Hey, brother, here's what I say. That's a great point. This is what I tell people that are like, I don't know if I want to join the military and go fight for you know what, you know who. You can't look at it that way. You can do, the military is amazing for young men, special operations, Ranger Battalion, Green Berets, incredible, incredible job. You're going to do amazing stuff. And at the end of the day, yeah, like you said there, you could join, you could go be a Ranger, or you could work for BlackRock and just work for Greatest Ally anyway. So, you know what I mean? Don't look at it that way. Do it for your personal growth, your personal development, and do it because you want to do it, right? You know, you can't really do anything about our fucking government. Our government's corrupt. We all know it. It is what it is. But the military is still a great, great, great career for young men for a lot of different reasons. So that's why I still support it. But understand potentially what you're going to go do, right? So there's that. All right, here we go. Leon says, in April, GM and Ford were asked to make ammo by the U.S. China. It's also having issues with their economy. WW3 over Uganda. We're on Taiwan. Oh, are you saying? Oh, I see. GM and Ford were asked to make ammo. Well, I mean, that happens, right? In times of war, it happened in World War II, World War I, where we transitioned all of our domestic manufacturing to war manufacturing. So the worse things get, the more likely you'll actually see stuff like that continue to happen. That's a real thing. Rick Rasta says, hey, brother, love what you're doing. Keep on keeping on, and happy belated birthday. Welcome to the 40s Club. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Dixon says, Sean's boss is Dana White. I'm guessing Strickland's boss threatened him. Yeah, I was thinking this one earlier. And Nate, if WD3 kicked off, would you get back in? No. Fuck no. If it came to America's domestic shorelines, yes. But for me to go join to go fight in fucking Iran or Ukraine? No, I'm good, homie. No, thank you. Wonder if they would allow GWOT people like us would be allowed back in. Well, yeah, of course they would. And they would be probably forcing us to try to come back in. But no, if it was a real, here, let me put it this way. If it was an actual war where I felt that the U.S. homeland was actually threatened, AKA an invasion on U.S. soil, 100%. I would take up arms. I would rejoin, go back to being a Green Beret. Those are real reasons to do this for. But as for what the fuck we have going on right now, to go what, to the Middle East again? Go to like what, Eurasia again? No, thank you. I'm good. I played that game already. You know what I mean? If you gave me a real reason to do it, and because it was protecting U.S. soil, then yes, I would. Bosnians love you, Nate. Shout out from Tukwila. Okay, I was looking at the Washington portion that was part of the word. Brother, thank you. Appreciate you, brother. 22, married, going 18X. Having second thoughts now. Look, like I was just talking about, you're at the perfect age. Married, kind of tough. I did it while I was married. It's doable. A lot of guys do. But, you know, what else are you going to do? Ask yourself that, right? Great job. Hopefully downside is, hopefully we avoid another war and conflict. But it is what it is, man. You never know. That's one of the risks, right? Understand that's one of the risks. For the guys who joined in 1999, they weren't expecting the World Trade Centers to get hit and for a 20-year war in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's just the risk we won. Right now, it's a little bit higher risk because we're looking at basically World War III going, yeah, it's pretty likely that we're probably going to end up with a ground invasion in Iran in the next year, would be my guess. If I had to put money on it, before Donald Trump leaves office, will we put boots on the ground in Iran? Gun to my head, I would say yes. I'd say yes. We probably are going to. So that's not great, right? Jaeger Bagel says, well, I agree that both sides are bad. DJT is uniquely unhinged and evil. I'd agree. I'd agree with you on that. I cannot conceive how Kamala would have done this much damage this quickly. If we were given the choice between bad and atrocious, we should pick bad every time. Here's what I'd say. I don't think we would have gotten anything different under Kamala. I think we would have just got somebody who was better spoken and wasn't saying crazy shit and fucking posting crazy shit online. Do I think we would still be in a war with Iran? Yes, I do. Do I think the Epstein files would still be getting blocked? Yes, I do. I don't think a whole lot would have changed. Other than we wouldn't have the psychotic behavior of a 80-year-old man in a diaper we wouldn't have that, right? But I do believe, I believe it would have been the exact same thing. It's the uniparty. It's the uniparty. Me personally, that's what I think, right? But as a person, yes, I think he is uniquely unhinged and evil in a way that we've never seen. Way more so than Kamala. But as for would things be different, I personally don't think they'd be different. Beans, thank you. The little Nikki reference made my day. Thank you. Trump forcing the National Guard to join with ICE is him forcing them to get in lockstep with the IDF, I think you mean, while they're running urban warfare training in Chicago and Detroit when they fully take over ICE. A lot of people keep talking about this. I know that ICE actually has received training from the IDF. I need to look more into this. You know, a lot of people think that, and I'm not somebody that disagrees with this, that ICE is not even designed for illegal immigration. That ICE is basically being designed for a domestic military force to be used against American civilians. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do I think that's probably pretty likely? Yeah, probably, based off of what I'm seeing. I think it's far more likely because they're not doing anything to stop the cartels. They're not doing anything to stop illegal immigration. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty decent chance that ICE is basically being set up to be used for a domestic police force to use against the United States, people of the United States. But yeah, yikes. Didi says, let's not forget it was Trump who negotiated the release of 5,000 Taliban against the Afghan wishes. Technically true. Technically true. DJT commanded PT Goofy. Okay. Paul says, my grandpa was a UPA commander in World War II, was approached by the CIA in the 1950s, Op Aerodynamics, to train people to coup Ukraine back then. This has been set up for 70 years. It's always been a CIA dream. Message me with cues. Well, this is 100% true. And this is what the CIA and 10th Special Forces Group did in 2013. We were the ones that overthrew the pro-Russia government and installed our own pro-Western puppet in Ukraine in 2013. So through the CIA and 10 Special Forces Group and MI6 and the United Kingdom heavily involved in that as well. But yeah, I mean, that's not a secret. That's not a conspiracy. That's well-known fact that we did that, right? So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And we're seeing the long-term effects of that now, turns out. Isn't that interesting? It took 13 years for us to get to really see what the culmination of that looks like. But yeah, we're there right now. Happy birthday, bro. You deserve the well-earned time off. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Dad always said, you know who would hold the strings. Thank you. Omara with big $50 donation. Very, very kind. Very, very generous. Thank you. If the bullet didn't go through the neck, then the neck stopped the bullet. The law of conservation of momentum means the neck absorbed the kinetic energy and the head snaps backwards. It didn't. High school physics teacher could get Tyler acquitted. Very interesting. We've talked about this a lot too. So we're talking about the actual impact, right? Physical force impact, because there's so much force of that round that is also hitting Charlie. That if you guys watch, remember my ballistic tests, every time I set something up, it's not just that it blows through everything, it blows the entire piece of animal or what I have completely off the shelf. It usually tears down the thing it's standing on. It usually blows the target down behind it because of how much force is exerted as it hits and expands and spreads through the body. So the fact that Charlie did this with a 30-06 round and didn't take his entire body up out of that chair is also, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, to your point. To exactly Omora Musa's point here. She's 100%. She, not sure by your name. 100% correct in what you're looking at with this. All of that kinetic energy has to go somewhere, right? And we didn't really see it go anywhere, which is very bizarre. Jaeger Bagel says, to be honest, thought people were being too hard on DJT in his first term, but the signs were there and I didn't listen. I feel like his first term was saved by semi-sane bureaucrats holding back when he wanted to do something crazy. Interesting take. A lot of people thought those bureaucrats were the one that kept him from doing more, beneficial for the country, but you may be right. It might have been more psychotic than we thought, and he just got his hands tied a little bit. In the second term, he doesn't give a shit. But I agree with you. I think I look back like the signs were there, but I didn't listen either. Not that I was a big fan of Donald Trump. I'm not. I didn't ever vote for him, but first term, I was far more likely to give him grace on things like policy and stuff like that than now. So I think good point. Phil, thank you so much for that generous donation here. Big $50 donation says, there is an almighty God who is Jesus Christ. He died on the cross to save the world, the lamb, but he will turn as a lion. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother, for that positive Christian message for all of us. If you are Christian, if not, well, that's okay too. So thank you, Phil. So thank you, Phil, so much. All right, let's keep moving. If you were to join the military at this day and age, would you still do it? Yes, I talk about this all the time. I would not change anything in my past. Best decision I ever made. Saved my life. Okay. Join the military literally saved my life. I don't say that, to be satirical or sarcastic. I was headed in a not good direction as a young man, and the military fixed me, developed me, and definitely saved my life. That's one other reason why I always encourage young men. If you don't know what you want to do, if you're in a place in your life where you feel lost, the military can do a lot for you. I'm not talking about going and fighting in foreign wars or anything like that. I'm just talking about the establishment of the military and all the things you're going to learn from it as a man. There's a lot of good to that as well. Not that you have to do the military to do that, to get those benefits, but for me, again, it worked for me. So besides all the truly bad stuff, Besides all the truly bad stuff, this president is so embarrassing. Okay. Well, whatever you think of George Bush, Obama, Biden wouldn't be posting memes and AI slop. So this is true, right? I think this is one of the things that makes him so unlikable is that his policies are terrible. He's destroyed the economy. He's gotten us another foreign war, and he's just being a psychotic fucking asshole and saying crazy shit, and everybody hates him on top of the terrible policy, right? So at least with Bush, right? Bush is a good example, right? Where Bush started 2 wars, destroyed the global economy, started the financial crisis, but people liked him. People liked him. He's a likable guy. You know what I mean? He was funny. He was goofy. Didn't say crazy shit. So it's like, yeah, he, killed millions and millions of Muslims and destroyed the economy for everybody, but he was likable. So you at least had that, right? Trump has all the terrible things, plus he's a horrible human that everybody hates. So we don't even get the good side of it. Valhalla is daddy. Thank you. I guess I am now that I'm in my 40s, so I'll take it. Thoughts on tactical crawl from the guy on the roof, the new video footage CO dropped tonight. Again, guys, I saw this literally right before in like one tiny clip of before I came on the show, so I'll probably do a whole video on it tomorrow when I can actually get down and sit and watch it. Evaluate it all. But I did see the one clip, and what I did not see is a 44-inch long gun. So, hey, where's the 30-06? Still looking. We're still trying to find it. The magic 30-06. So, yeah, I got to take a look at it, and then I will cover it. Promise. Thank you. Nate, did you see the Department of War change 4 of the KIA from Operation Epic Fury to vague overseas operations? So now the Epic Fury number is only 14. They're trying to play the semantic game. Okay, cool. I mean, fucking whatever, man. They got killed by ballistic missile strikes in what? Jordan and Iraq by Iran. Yeah, you can label it whatever you want, but it's not going to. It's not going to change anything for me. So yeah, I think it's gross. And that, again, it's not going to trick anybody. But it's the Trump administration, so it's not shocking. Chris, big $50 donation. Thank you so much for the generosity. Says, wondering if World War III postpones midterm elections. Can Congress postpone, or change the date? I don't think they're going to. I get asked this a lot. I don't think they're going to do it in 2026. I think they're going to let it through. I don't think they care. 2028 is what worries me. 2028 worries me. That's the one where I'm starting to think, with Trump building the ballroom with a new massive military bunker and him flirting with the idea of refusing to leave, couple it with the idea of martial law because things have spiraled out of control because the economy is so bad due to a World War style crisis. That's starting to worry me. And you guys know, if you guys have been following my channel for a long time, Nate's always been the guy that's been like, nah, that's not going to happen. Trump's not going to do that. I've always been the guy, the non-fearmonger version of that. It's like, no, guys, we're going to be okay. I'm going to tell you now, That kind of looks like that's what we're headed for. Kind of looks like that's what we're headed for, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, 2028 is worrying me for sure. Thank you. All data center shit, just to pull digital cage around each of us. We are in the fight. We are fighting this as well in New Zealand. The entire world is, Ricky. So thank you. You see Trump invested $5 million in Axon and his admin is actually pushing the content, encouraging the destruction of flock cameras, bait and switch. Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? It's just, I don't know with any of this, right? It's the same thing as like JD Vance trying to pretend like, he's this America first, anti our greatest ally, wants to expose the Epstein files when obviously that's all horse shit. So it's hard to tell. We'll see. Broken says if it was Nate's birthday a couple days ago and I'm Nate also turning 49 today, hopefully these sick Fs don't unalive us all before our next birthdays. Much respect from Oakland, Oregon. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Well, I don't know. Hopefully we're all going to hang in there. You know what I mean? We got to be positive. Thank you, though. Flock is the only reason the guy who hit me in the head, I can't say that word, was got. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. And I will support it, but it's such a slippery slope. I believe in individual privacy. So this is a good point, right? When we talk about the most recent ICE shooting, right? The 2 ICE officers that walked up and literally murdered the guy in his car. The only reason that was caught on camera was because of a flock camera. Now, that means a flock camera was good for that individual event, but like it's a greater good thing, right? And this is where we have to be careful. The Patriot Act was another one of those things of like, well, it's helping us stop terrorism. Now we're going to take away all your rights and privacy, but it's helping you keep safe. And this is the idea of, do we want to give up our freedoms, our privacy to be kept safe by the government? And in this case, that was great that worked. And for you, it was great that happened. But is that the greater good? For me, I don't think in the greater good. No, not in the way that they're going to use it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those tough ones where there is some good uses for it that do help sometimes. And there also is a lot of bad that can come with it. That's the gray area. It's the gray area of life. Is things like that. Happy birthday. Glad you enjoyed your time away. Thankful to have my news back. You helped me keep informed. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you. John says, big $50 donation. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the generosity tonight, guys. Says, Vattel said, because a nation's obligations to itself take priority over its obligations to other nations, or it should, right? If helping another nation would require it to seriously harm its own essential interests, then its duty to provide assistance no longer applies. Yes. And there's another 100% great point. And that's obviously what we're talking about with our greatest ally here. Here's another one that I'm going to caveat with John's point here, that I really like this quote. And that is, if a country has enough money to send that money to foreign countries, it is taxing its citizens too much money. My point with that is, if you got enough money to send it to all these foreign countries, you shouldn't be taking my fucking money. That's the way I look at it, right? If we can't take care of our own people, as John just said there, why are we trying to pay off other countries, right? Sorry. That's the way I feel with that one. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, brother. Brian says, Joint Base Charleston to be renamed in honor of Lindsey Graham. I heard this. Bet the Air Wings are going to be renamed the Ladybugs, the Fightin' 69th. Yes. I did hear this was going to happen. I'll have to wait and see. One second, I got to blow my nose. I don't know if this is actually true. Is this actually true? I saw headlines that they were gonna rename this, but I'm assuming it was true. But I thought maybe they might be memes. But I think you're probably right. Katie says, "Why does Glenn Beck look like a gas station hot dog?" Oh my god, he does. That's exactly what he looks like. Oh my God. That's funny. He literally looks like a gas station hot dog. Why is he so red? What is going on? Dude, holy shit. Oh, leathery too, right? That's just like that. To Katie's point, that's like that 7-Eleven hot dog at like 1 a.m. that's been there since 10 in the morning on the roller. Just like, oof, that's a rough looking dog right there. Thank you, Katie. Rather guy says, Donnie the Cheeto Trump and Glenn the tomato back. Yes. Red and orange. Red and orange. Thank you. Thank you, Rye. Thank you for all you're doing. I'm a senior and a liberal leaning, and I enjoy the diversity of your podcast and chat. Thank you for your service. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Glad to have you here. And that's what we try to, that's a great part about our community here is that we are, I believe, and I say this all the time, by far the most diverse audience on YouTube. I don't think anybody has more of a diverse audience than I do. At least I can't think of anybody. I don't know. Maybe Ian Carroll might be one of the only other ones. Baron Coleman maybe might be another one. But other than that, Candace maybe might be another one. Other than that, I don't think anybody's got an audience as diverse as ours. It's very cool. Thank you so much. All right. Teresa says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are we headed for camps in danger? 2, please finish today's convo on Patreon. 3, FYI, I got your back asking Baron Candace to thank you. You've been very helpful after the MS thing. Oh, no, all good. Don't have to worry about that. We've reached out privately with an apology to Candace to make sure that she knows I was never trying to, cause any problems for that, right? So that's all fine. That's all water under the bridge. But I do appreciate it. How likely are we to end up in camps? Not for a while. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that she knew that I'm a supporter of hers, right? Because there was a little bit of a drama back in the day that I'm a big supporter of hers, and I have no ill will towards her whatsoever. So, again, not like a please forgive me type thing, but I just wanted to, we're all on the same team here, and it's important that we have that. Peaches. Peaches comes in to say, I'm small. Well, thanks, Peaches. We should pull up a picture of me and you together and see if that's true. All right, let's keep moving. Thanks, Peaches. Such a compliment, bud. You in to look at the funeral footage? Trump sitting and sleeping, and the guy sitting directly behind him. He's making a face that something sticks. I have seen that, Jan. I did see that one. I didn't use it in the show, but there is a clip when Trump's asleep. The guy behind him looks like he smells shit and is struggling to keep it together. And then the funniest thing is, I don't know, Jan, if you saw this. Right when he's making those, faces, Trump pulls out a thing of Tic Tacs, right? The breath freshener Tic Tacs, tries to give some to JD Vance, and then starts eating them as the guy behind him is like, oh, so pretty funny. Looker must have been giving advice. Glenn Beck looks like he ate the blueberry chewing gum from Willy Wonka. That's a good one too. B. James says, same as the Marine who commented before me, I'm an X-11 Bravo, and 2, have never heard of a side crawl. Maybe it's something new. I ETS'd in 2011. Happy birthday again, brother. The hangovers hit different at 40. Oh, yeah, I know. I was pretty hungover earlier in the weekend. But thank you. Yeah, I got to watch this. Okay, I got to watch the video, guys. I didn't get a good chance to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to watch it. I promise. And I'm sure I'll probably do an entire video on it tomorrow because everybody is going ham on it right now. But I got to watch it first, like a good watch, not a like real quick. I literally, I think either Barron or Bays, I think maybe Bays shared it to our group chat, and I literally got to look at it real quick as I hit live. So. Bays, I'll get yours here in a second. Rooftop Rabbit says we should have the same land and dump Lady G on top of a pike since he's chubbed up in his grave right now. I'm sure it would be a perfect fit. Happy birthday and sweet calf wishes to you. Thank you, brother. Yes. You got to give him credit. Like the fact that, Lindsey Graham, right? His entire life's work was to start World War III, and at least his funeral is what got everybody together to spur it off, right? So in his dying breaths, he was able to help facilitate World War III. So good for Lindsey on that one. Real Bays, oh, thank you, brother. Big donation. Says, I know I wished you happy birthday already, but this is your present. I'm glad you had a blast and deserve it. God bless you, buddy. Thank you, Bays. I appreciate you. Friend of the show, Real Bays. Me and Bays are going to be doing a show here pretty soon together as well. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Love you. All right, let's keep moving. Here we go. Does Trump think peace is an acronym for PDFs? Eating all the children on earth. I don't know. That's funny. Okay, keep moving. James says APAC lady almost sounds like Uncle AI. Now I need to hear her say turning the frogs gay. I need to, God, I got to pull this up because it's just too funny. Hold on. Let's see if I can find this. It's just, I got to go to Twitter for it, right? Oh, come on. There's such a funny one of her doing her thing and then Chris Farley doing the van down by the river. I can't find it. Damn it. Have you guys seen it? Where she's like, I don't remember what she says, but she's talking about in Michigan how she's going to do it with a little enthusiasm and all that stuff. And then somebody clipped Chris Farley doing the van down by the river skit right after. I got to find that. Can't find it right now. I'll find it on the next one. Joe says that silver-plated beeper should go into an iron box in a concrete vault if dude is smart. Well, thing is, Joe, the one thing that we know for sure about John Fetterman is that he is most likely and most assuredly not smart. There's a lot of things that Fetterman is. Smart is not one of them. Dude's brain is broken. It is mush. We know that. Thank you, Joe. Breaking news. Saudi Arabia just attacked Iran. What was that? What did I tell you? What is that? What is this episode named? And here we go. Another country has entered the war as we're talking. Huh. I'm shocked. It's almost like that's what this entire episode was about, huh? Yay. Great. Anyway, for those of you who said I was a fearmonger at the start of the episode, there you go. There you go. I told you it's coming. Okay. The difference is DJT is brazen. Kamala would have laid down. Results the same. Red or blue. The bird flies. Yep. I agree. 100%. That's what I was talking about earlier. Trump did say he was going to practice in the streets on cleaning up the country. Look at it. Pretty positive. He said it about a year ago. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what we've cleaned up, but he probably did say it. The BB bend and reach in cadence. That's a funny military joke. My son is active duty, United States Marine. Excuse me. United States Marine Corps 0311. He is in the southern border on a mission, detaining illegals, wire tackling him, and taking them to Border Patrol personal fact number 5. No, I believe you. You know what's crazy? I might not have believed you right out the gate, but I believe you because Ben Pappas, who was we did the show with last Friday, was talking about how he was in, I believe, Humboldt County, California, in the late 90s, literally doing exactly that with the Marines. So apparently this shit happens. And they use the Marines to take down cartels and whatever. So yeah, I do believe you. Wild stuff. Was employed, was self-employed, was MAGA, got screwed by our greatest ally. Okay. Well, voted for the good economy coming from Canada. LOL, China owns us. FFS, for fuck's sake. Yes. I think the vast majority of people who voted for Trump, who immediately abandoned Trump or have abandoned Trump. So let's say people that are no longer Republicans or conservative independents were people, most of them voted for Trump because they thought they were going to get a good economy, right? That was the big selling point of the Trump presidency was, hey, this guy is a fucking lunatic, but at least the economy is going to be good. And, well, the opposite of that happened, right? We got the lunatic with a terrible economy. So that's not great. A guy on roof crawl is training to take on fire. I don't know. Again, I have to see it. Got to see it. Got to watch it, guys. I haven't watched it yet. Or I've watched it briefly. Brian says, random thought, at some point, AIPAC will start funding people they don't want to win. Money will be funding through shadow packs to private candidates they do want. We need to watch for that Trojan horse. This is interesting, right? Now, keep in mind, those candidates still have to be willing to take that money, right? So, but you might be onto something there. That's some real unconventional asymmetric warfare shit right there, for sure. Thank you, Brian. I think our greatest ally is the tip of the iceberg. 3 bill isn't going to give us Medicare. We need to cut defense spending and somehow lower our debt. Agree. Yes, we do. We need to do all those things. How are we going to do it? Not with this president. Not with this president. Does that POS get buried in Arlington Cemetery? Probably will. I mean, he was in the Air Force for like 30 years, so he might. Do you listen to the Philip DeFranco show? No, I have not. I have not listened to that show. Not that I don't like it or anything. I just am not aware of that show. So, okay, we did it. We made it to the end of the show. All right. So thank you all so much for sticking with me. Friendly reminder, one last reminder tomorrow, okay, outside of our regular scheduled broadcasting, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you come back, hang out with us. We got a great show planned with me and Elizabeth Lane. Should be an awesome one. And then, yeah, we got a couple. I didn't think about this. I think we got a lot of extra shows this week. We have the regular Friday show. And then this isn't locked in yet. We're still talking about it. We're thinking about doing another one of the hangout poker nights, right? Where me and all the guys, we get together, we hang out, we just play cards, and we just shoot the shit. So the last couple have been me, Baron Coleman, Jesse on Fire, Danks, Bays, Mr. Let Go. So we're thinking about doing another one of those Saturday as well. Okay. So there's probably going to be like 4 live streams this week. So we're back at it. So yeah, we'll probably have that as well Saturday. So that'll be a fun one to hang out with. I'll let you guys know. We haven't locked that one in for sure yet. Okay. Yeah. And then I'll look into the new footage of the rooftop bandit, as you might say. And I'll look at doing an episode on that tomorrow as a regular video. So sorry. These Diet Cokes hiccup me. All right, so that's it. Thank you all so much, guys. Again, if you want to follow the Clips channel, it's in the pin message. And yeah, that's going to do it. I'll be back tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you all so much. Thanks to the regular viewers. Thanks to the new viewers. Thanks to all the super chats. Thanks to the moderators. Thanks to everybody out there. All right, so I'll see you back tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific. All right, that's going to do it. Catch y'all tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.